Giving honor to the Most High Yahweh, Yahushua HaMashiach. John 5:39. J Bird, don't start it. Don't start it.
Had a great morning.
This ain't your first rodeo now.
You should keep it up, son.
Nap time will be calling you. Don't let nap time call you, J Bird.
Go get the chair.
J Bird looking like one of them young boys out there.
Hey, slow down, man.
No, I'm talking about his outfit. Look like one of them young boys out there.
No, it ain't that sporty.
No, I ain't saying it was. Shoot, I'm talking about he got the pants. It don't look like he got no diaper on. It look like a young man. Shit, what you talking about?
Hey, that boy been hitting that toilet, boy. I ain't changed the boo diaper in about
Right.
a week or two, boy.
Go on here, Henry.
I ain't gonna lie.
Huh? He using that toilet? I told him the other day, he big boy. He sitting on the big toilet. That's what it was. He want to sit on no pot.
He boo-booed this morning, boo-booed last night.
What? You should have seen him when you seen him when I talked to you. Breathe, boy. Give him that cheese. You know how to use that. All right.
I'm trying to keep the thing alive.
Keep it alive. Let's hear it jump. Let's roll, y'all. John 5:39. Let's get it in, bring it in. Let's get it together.
It say certain scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they will testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. If another should come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor
What's going on,
from
bro?
another, and seek not the honor that cometh from Elohim only? Do not think I will accuse you to a father. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, whom you trust. For you have believed Moses, you would believe me, for he wrote of me.
For he wrote of me.
But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my word?
1 Corinthians 13:4. Let's keep on rolling from what we've been rolling with. What did we look at last night? What did we look at last night, Stanley? Which one?
Hold on. He said,
1 Corinthians 13:4. Which one did we look at last night, Stanley? You remember? You don't forgot that fast. She smoking marijuana.
When you put me on the spot, I'm in.
It just make your mind go blank. Derek, what we looked at last night, Derek? Well, y'all too young for that. We did with unseemly last night. What was the Hebrew equivalent for unseemly? Who remember the Hebrew equivalent for unseemly? What does unseemly mean? You scratching your face like you don't know what it means. You don't know what it means.
Was Olive and Kuf in that?
Olive and Kuf was in one of them, correct. That is correct, sir. That is correct.
Right.
Olive, Kuf, and Sean to be specific.
Yeah, that's what it was. Then it was another spelling with it was an I.
Yep, and it had the ooh and the ta with it.
And that was it with Deuteronomy 10 and
No, that one was in Deuteronomy 32 and 5.
5.
But who remembers the English definition of unseemly? No, that's the Hebrew definition for it.
okay. You said the English?
The English definition for unseemly. That's to be unbecoming. Y'all ever heard the term behavior unbecoming of an officer?
No.
You never heard that before?
I didn't.
Just not right behavior.
That's just not right behavior. So the Hebrew equivalent is what word?
What you said?
It's froward.
Yeah.
Froward.
That was a proverb.
And that word is somebody who is perverse, crooked, or false. And then what did we look at Wednesday? We looked at it that is not what? Vaunted up. And then what was that we looked at last week? That is how it's kind and long suffering. So come on and take off, man. 1 Corinthians 13:4. We still gonna deal with froward, and then we gonna move on to deal with that it don't seek her own way. Don't seek her own, I should say.
Love suffers long and is kind. Love envieth not. Love bondeth not itself. It is not puffed up. It does not behave itself unseemly. Seeketh not her own. Is not easily provoked, and thinketh no evil. Rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoices in truth. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hope all things, and endureth all things. Love never fails.
It don't do what?
Love never fails.
It don't do what?
Never fails.
Go ahead.
But where there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away.
That's good, yo. So check it, right? So remember, we looking at the things of what we seen. We doing it in the reverse. See, I think the last time we did this, which was a good long season ago, We looked at how Mashiach did that and how we should emulate it. Of course, you can see this time we're looking at how these individuals' love failed because they participated in these activities. So when we participate in these activities, that means the love of Yah is not present. This is what he's referring to. Also seeing that all of these things are representative of his attributes as we sprinkled in as well. So let's take ourselves to Deuteronomy chapter 32. You can read verse 5 again, and then you can drop yourself to verse 17 in the interim after that. Still touch a little bit of what Froward is. Because you got 3 different words for Froward as we looked at last night. We looked at all 3 of them. Go ahead, man. Deuteronomy 32 and 5.
It says, nevertheless, Yahuwah Elohim will not hearken unto Balaam, but
You're
Yahuwah
not in
Elohim.
Deuteronomy 32 and 5. You are in the book of Numbers.
I'm not in 32, I'm in 23. Definitely ain't sound right. As soon as I said Balaam, I was like, right?
What you talking about over there, Sugar Shirley?
They have corrupted themselves. Their spot is not the spot of his children.
Mm-hmm.
They are a perverse and crooked generation.
They are what?
A perverse and crooked
Now,
generation.
this is what he said about his people. You got to remember, you ain't even came in the land yet. And he said, y'all ain't got the spot of my children, and you're crooked and you perverse. You crooked and you perverse. And that word for perverse in that particular verse is the kash, crooked, and that was the an, the kuf, and the shan. And that's when we turn around and look at it as what? You're going to experience the last consumption. And I didn't touch that last night about experiencing the last consumption, so we're going to touch it right now. The book of Isaiah 11 and 4. So see, when you crooked and perverse, you ain't going to have no choice. Get your shoe out your mouth. Little baby. I mentioned it, but we didn't read it. 11 and 4. So when you crooked and perverse, you have no choice. After that, you can get Psalms 104 and 35. This is what you're trying to avoid. You don't want nothing with that. See, also last night we looked at the crooked and perversity of individuals who hold the word. That's what we really focused on. You know what I'm saying? How they were telling lies, teaching for hire. You know what I'm saying? Not having a just and right balance, and leading the people to destruction. Come on with it, man.
It say, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor and reprove with equity for the meat of the earth. Mm-hmm. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth and with the breath of his lips.
He gonna do what?
Smite the earth with the rod of his mouth.
And the breath of it what?
His lips.
So that means these people are going to experience that last consumption. See, that's what we're trying to avoid. See, a lot of people, so I tell you like this, right? I was listening to my man Joe Rogan this morning. He was talking to the dude about the afterlife. I be liking to hear people's perspective. So a white dude was like, oh, it's just a chemical thing. Like when you die, your brain releasing all these chemicals, like, you know what I'm saying, all that type of stuff. And he spit the same stuff that nigga used to spit when I was in prison. Oh, man, you know, if you don't get it right in this life, you're going to die and come back. See, that makes you feel good because you don't feel like you're going to be consumed. See, I'll tell you right now, I can honestly wager, in my honest opinion, that 99.9% of the people on this earth do not believe that this man is going to return and execute wrath on him. Straight up now. They don't think he's going to do it. They don't think he's going to do it. That 0.1%, they waiting on that resurrection of the dead. Most of this world, they think it's a joke. Even people who say they believe, they think it's a joke. They don't think he's going to do it. Remember what we looked at last night? If you believe it, you're going to believe it from here. You know what I'm saying? Like I mentioned some of what I mentioned for our brother Sal, because y'all showed mercy on him. Because brother Sal could have been out of here. You got blood clots all going on through your body. You could be out of here. And y'all remember, we dealt with it about 3-4 months ago. We ain't supposed to be walking around here like we ain't got no hope. You know what I'm saying? Not if you say you believe in y'all, that's insane. Death wouldn't scare you at all. For what? For what? You know, I know ain't nobody ready to jump off the bridge and go on ahead and leave here. You know what I'm talking about? But shoot, yeah, it shouldn't be no worry. Because most people, like they were talking in that podcast, they talking like that because you don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So you're nervous. But if you believe that right there, what you nervous for? Now I don't say nervous, what you scared for. Because of course if you're going to get ready to die, you might have a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of trepidation. You know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely a different thing. Everybody done went to sleep and woke up. Ain't none of us went to sleep yet and ain't woke up. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what nothingness is like. Because you got dreams while you sleep. You got thoughts while you sleep. You don't know what it's like when your thoughts get shut off. And ain't no more. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to rush that if you ain't ready. We done talked about that before. Remember that, Stanley? Nigga be talking about, boy, I can't wait for him to come back. You don't want to rush that if you're not ready. You don't want to rush that. Come on, man. Ain't nothing to rush about. Let him take his time.
You asked for another spot after.
I did. It'll come to me in a moment. Where you at right now? Yeah, I did. I don't remember. But you can get me 2 Peter 3 and 9.
He said Psalms.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah,
Psalms
yeah,
32.
yeah.
Psalms 104 and 35. But you can make it about 32. You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, we supposed to be, when you look at a lot of people in their word who were finna die, they were mighty confident. You know what I'm saying? They ain't had no nerve, no trepidation. Say, it's time for me to go to sleep. Look at what David told Solomon before he died. He said, son, I go the way of all the earth. Told him what he needed to tell him. Now it's time for me to go lay down, son. You hold it down. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm good on my end. I can't recall the spot in my head at the moment, but he said all of them resting in their lots. And shalom. That's how you get to feel. You're resting. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. That's what he means. And of course, of what who remember what we were talking about when we were talking about divorce? Y'all remember that when we were talking about that? That was what, 2 weeks ago?
In reference to what?
Just period. What you remember from? Anybody remember anything from it?
Oh, they're saying you get a divorce, you can't marry everybody else.
No, that's not correct.
No.
You can only separate. You can't marry nobody else. You can get divorced anytime you want. You know what I'm saying? But you can't marry nobody else. But what was the purpose of why he did that? Because his love never wavered. He could have easily went and got another wife. You know what I'm saying? But instead, because matter of fact, his own law said he couldn't take his own wife back. He said, but no, because he was long-suffering and kind and didn't seek his own and was not prideful and was not unbecoming, he came with a plan to get his wife back. You know what I'm saying? So you look at that and you see how strong that is. But on the flip side, if you want to buck me, my wrath ain't going to fail neither. So he has to take that into account. A lot of people not taking that into account. As forth as behaving on the opposite side of the spectrum. See, people who behaving on the right side of the spectrum, meaning that right-hand side with a sheep at, you chilling. You actually understand what he did so you can do the same. But if you don't understand what he did, you're going to flaunt it, you're going to take it for granted, and you're going to act the opposite. Go ahead.
Psalms 104.
And 32.
33.
2.
He looketh on the earth and it trembled.
It do what?
It trembled.
Why the earth trembling, Stanley?
Because it's his return.
But why is the earth trembling? Who knows why the earth trembling? What you over there eating Philly cheesesteak? I'm just messing with you, man. You know why the earth?
Is it your time of tribulation? Is they gonna come with a shout on earth and shit, right?
So why the earth shaking then? I mean, it's a simple answer. Y'all overthinking it. I promise you. If the earth shaking, what's going on?
Earthquake.
So that's why. Get him Isaiah 24, man. And 1. You ain't got to overthink it. Take that to your mom.
21.
24 and 1.
Behold, Yahuwah maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste and turn it upside down.
He turned what?
Turn it upside down and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof.
Why are they scattering? Why are the people scattering? Why are they scattering? Who know why they scattering? They gonna flee. You remember what it said in Revelation? When the Lamb comes, let us flee from his face. What we gonna do? Let me tell y'all something, man. I heard the brothers today, man, he didn't even want to talk about Daniel chapter 7, hurt my feelings. You know why I hurt my feelings? Because the man been in the game 20 years and still don't understand it. That man read that book and said when he said he gonna change times and laws, that had to deal with changing the calendar, which we know that's not the case. Then when he said he gonna wear out the saints, he said they did that with slavery and captivity. I said, oh my God, these people not gonna be ready. Listening to you, when they go down, they not gonna be ready. Because you thinking that they already done went through that, and this man gonna come in and start killing people, and they gonna wonder why they getting killed. You know what I'm saying? That junk's sad. That junk is sad. Because, boy, I'm trying to tell you, they're not going to kill you because you're black. They're going to kill you because a man going to say, I'm God, and you saying he a liar. That's what they're gonna kill you for. See that, and people not ready for that because ain't nobody telling you that. Remember, I just heard a brother talking about this the other day. China and Africa, they gonna blow up America. We don't really talk about that. That ain't what it said. When it go down, is it you gonna be going to the store buying food? That's what it said, didn't it? You say you're gonna be buying and selling. Say you're gonna be eating and drinking. Say you're gonna be marrying people. People gonna be getting married. They got you thinking it's gonna be Max Thunderdome, and it ain't. You're gonna be going about your life just as it regularly was, just under a very, very oppressive regime. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that if you go against whatever this man talking about, you're going to be killed. And ain't nobody ready for that. Nigga talking about we need to prepare to live in the wilderness. He never told you nothing about that was going to happen. That's not what he told you was going to happen. So when this stuff happens, you're not going to be ready because you looking over here. How many of y'all seen Swordfish? You seen Swordfish? The movie when Halle Berry showed the titties. That's the only way people remember. It's actually a good movie. You know what I'm saying? Well, at the time, I think that was her first one. But the movie is superior. Because John Travolta in the movie, you know what I'm saying? Superior movie. It's just that one line. Misdirection, Stanley. Misdirection. Because they got you looking over here, but they really doing it over here. And most dudes don't understand the text, so they got you looking for something that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So when that don't happen, it's just the same thing what we read last night, right? Dude's shocked because all these people started dealing witchcraft. Well, the book tell you they were going to do it. And he going to drop plagues on them and they not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? So what do you mean? Like, come on, if he drying up, we done went over this before. Everybody looking for this left behind type stuff when you're really supposed to be looking for the plagues in Egypt. That's what you're supposed to be looking for. Because that's what he said he going to do. Ain't that what he said he going to do? That's what you're supposed to be looking for. Why would he be, now this is the key question to tie back in for your memory. Why would he bring, what does the plagues of Egypt have to tie in the book of Revelation? Why are the plagues of Egypt important?
That blood got to be required for him to buy the person.
No.
We had talked about that last night. We were talking about the way we came out the first time. We got to correlate with how
we came out the first time by what? By miracles, by signs and wonders and war. But also, what the beast gonna do? So of course he got to do the same thing. He just doing it in reverse. The first time he did the plagues and then the Passover. This nigga gonna emulate the Passover and the plagues come after that. Because all the plagues in Revelation, the same plagues that's in Exodus. They're the exact same things. Ain't nothing different. So we got to get our mind, like I said, man, all this stuff they got going on with these elections. They like, yes, bringing it closer to the end. Wait for it. 2019, we going home. Wait for it. Bro, that dude said times and a half a time, meaning we don't know how long the man gonna do it. Bro, you know that hurt my feelings to hear that? When time and a half a time literally mean 3.5 years and you've been teaching the word 20 years and you telling people that? So that means when this man take over, he begin to do this and do that, they not even gonna know. You supposed to know the clock running. When the two witnesses come, you know we got 7 years, it's over. It's over. That's why you got to know that so your love don't fail. See, when you actually understand the text and the stuff go down, you'll endure. If you don't understand it and you looking for something else, you'll put the book down. Do you know what I'm saying? When we don't leave here in 2019, well, it's a lot of people going to put the book down. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people going to put the book down. You said 1619, 2019. And that's what that's going to show is you didn't have no patience. You were seeking your own will. You know what I'm talking about? And your love failed. That's what's going to happen. Go ahead, man. Shoot. I'm just trying to let you know. Keep finishing that because you got to know what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. That's why he say he that endured to the end, the same going to be saved. If you know why you enduring and what's going to happen, you'll take it. If you don't know what's going to happen, you'll fold. And you're going to fold because your heart wasn't rooted in the word to begin with. So when the persecution and tribulation come, you're going to be offended. No, that nigga ain't know what he was talking about. I'm out of here. Which truth be told what was in your heart anyway? You're only going to do what's in your heart anyway. Go ahead.
It said, and it shall be as with the people, so with the priest.
Oh, as with the who?
With the people.
As with the who?
The people. And so with the priest. As with the servant, so with his master. As with the maid, so with her mistress. And with the buyer, so with the seller.
Everybody gonna catch it.
As with the lender, so with the borrower. As with the taker of usury, to the giver of usury to him. The land shall be utterly empty.
Empty.
Utterly spoiled.
Spoiled.
For you who have spoken this word. The earth mourned and faded away.
Fade away.
The world languished.
Pause. He said it's going to fade away. Give me 2 Peter 3:8 now. You can make it 3 and 7. Matter of fact, just make it 6. You see how he said fade away? First thing you should have been thinking about was what he told you in the book of Isaiah, which Peter finna reference. Because you ain't supposed to be looking for the wrath. You're supposed to be looking what for come after the wrath. That's what you're supposed to be. We done talked about that not too long ago too. That's what you're supposed to be waiting on. What type of nigga waiting for a promise of wrath? That don't even make no sense. That don't even make no sense. You know what I'm saying? If you were the promise, you're going to be waiting on the promise. If you wait on the wrath, you an Ishmael nigga. That's what you is. Because Ishmael ain't getting no promise. People are the promise waiting for him to bring it to pass. So that's what you're looking for. Y'all remember that? You said that hit your head. Y'all remember what the book of Amos say, right? What he told you the day of Yahuwah going to be like? Day of darkness, gloominess, a day of darkness, and not light. But what else he told you it was going to be like? You remember?
Like a man running
Running from a lion, get met by a bear. Say you put your hand on the wall, got bit by a snake. See, I don't know what you're looking for that. And guess what? When we look at most of our people and everywhere they find, that's all they talking about. That's what they waiting on. I ain't waiting on that. I ain't waiting on that. I care less about that. I care about it, but I don't care about it. I care about it because I do want to wash my feet in their blood by all means. That's what he promised. I'd like to partake in that. He said there's a promise. Ain't it what he said? That there's a reward for the righteous? Yeah, I like to wash my feet in their blood. I don't have no people in particular. It's just on general principle. You know what I'm saying? You shed my people blood, shoot. I like to dance in your blood too. You danced in mine. If shoot. I told my homegirl years back, she said, you shouldn't feel that way. Bet you lied. Open Michael 7's shoulder to her, and I wait for it. I ain't got to scream it out in the corners. I wait for it, though. That's what he promised me. I'm going to hold on to that. Shoot. My God, a man of war, so I'm supposed to be mad. So I'm wrong because I want to go to war. I'm wrong for that. No, I ain't wrong for it. You ain't never seen none of your forefathers back down from a little tussle. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't never back down from no little tussle. They ain't have no problem. I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna say that on this small few, because some of them niggas ain't want to tussle. You know what I'm talking about? Some niggas ain't want to tussle. Some of them like this here. Shoot. Don't invite me to a good time. I ain't gonna turn it down. Now, a lot of them wasn't trying to tussle. Caleb was trying to tussle. Yahushua son of Nun was trying to tussle. Hold on now. Yahweh said he was trying to tussle. David was trying to tussle. David had some dudes with him ready to tussle. Jonathan was ready to tussle. Shoot. Elijah was ready to tussle. Elisha was ready to tussle. Shoot, Elisha told the king, shoot, nigga, you should have stepped on that by 7, 8 more times. They'd have been completely consumed. When he put them arrows down, he said, you stomp on them. Like, Elisha looking at him like, Carl, you ain't gonna, so you're not gonna, they got a couple more times, man. You tripping. My boy ready to tussle. But the only reason you ready to tussle is not because of the anger of what they did to you necessarily individually. It's the disrespect of your God. That's what you ready to talk about. Go ahead, man.
He said it was 2 Peter
3 and 6.
All right. It said, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished. But Shamahim and the rocks, which are now, by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men.
See, we read that last night too, right? Ungodly men, they get that last consumption. We read that in 2 Peter. He mentioned Noah. He mentioned Sodom. That's what's going to happen. Come on, man. We don't want to, and this is for being perverse and crooked. Now, you got to remember this here. This is what's going to happen if you're perverse and crooked. Not if you're righteous. We read it Wednesday, right? What he said in the book of Isaiah. He said they declare they sin like who? And he said in their conscience, they don't hide it not. He said, let it go to the righteous, it shall be well with them. But woe unto the wicked, you don't reward the evil to yourself. See, that don't pertain to the righteous. That's not what's going to happen to them. But the people need to know if you're going to be perverse and crooked, you need to know what's going to happen. And to show that this is why our love failed. Because who did we look at last night, right? We looked at something in Proverbs, right? It says a person that loves transgression, what do they love? You got it. Strife.
Yeah.
Say, he who loveth transgression loves strife. And what we seen with the scribes and Pharisees everywhere they went, what they love to do? Strife. And what you seen in the end, what did they love? They loved the sin. And at the end of the day, what did they end up doing? Causing strife to get a man killed who didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Then we looked at Judas and what he was doing. Sowing a little discord, naughty man, wicked man, frowardness in his mind. You know you gotta be a sour dude when you turn on your homeboy and ain't nobody come ask you to do it. He went looking for them. What you gonna give me? A little bit of change. What you gonna give me? We give you 30 pieces of silver. I'll bring that nigga to you in 15 minutes.
No fact.
I'll show you where he at.
That's not how Judas together.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. That's him. That's what he did. That's what he did. But he did it because, remember we said a violent man, I forget what it said, let me pull it for you real quick. Yeah, I forgot. I want to keep him where he at, but I don't want to misquote it. I don't want to misquote it. I don't want to misquote it. I got to remember where it's at. Say a violent man entices his neighbor. And what did Judas go around and do? He went and enticed them men and said, hey, boy, I give you what you'll get. Because he's a violent man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to sit back and look at that. And when you look at violence, when you commit sin, what does the word say in the law? Your blood be upon you. So when you commit sin, you really are a violent individual because you're trying to bring wrath on another person when you try to entice them to go outside the way. Mm-hmm.
Because at the end, he tried to get what he couldn't, but those are on his hand because you walk with God all the long time. That you know you can walk a person a long time and you don't really know him till God show you. But and they be the one you betrayed you and turn you in
Mm-hmm.
to get you killed.
And indeed, and the master told us that too. Who he say the one gonna tell on?
One Lord.
Your own people. He said what he said, you're killing your own people.
They don't want to kill them.
You don't know what that's off of standard? That's what he told Nino Brown. You're killing your own people. Come on, man. That's the dude who killed her.
I just know what you know, bro. You don't got to set this.
Come on, man.
Little Peter.
Pause. Go ahead.
See, that was dirty. That wasn't even that bad.
It was bad. It was bad. It was pause worthy. You know that dude for the Nuggets got in trouble because in the interview he said no homo? They fined him for it too?
Yeah.
Jokic?
Yeah, I seen that.
He said son, he's
I
like
ain't
no
know
homo.
what he said, but I ain't saying that.
You can't say that in public no more. That man played for the NBA. But the thing is though, that man from Cross Seas, that means one of his players taught him, the teammate taught him no homo.
Now when he was raised like that, he might have been raised right.
That man said, son, he said, you know, we got to keep it the long way, no homo. And they hit him for like $10,000 fine.
So you can't. But that's how you know that junk ain't racist. They stand up for them.
Well, they stand up for
They
the
don't buy
homo.
their own people about that.
You heard me? No, they wouldn't.
You feel me? You can't even be like, oh, because the nigga said,
I killed my own, they not me not, but they the one killed him.
Oh, absolutely. We always the ones who killed our prophets. That's our thing. That's what we do. That's what we do. Unfortunately. Y'all remember when we read in Isaiah, this is people what? Terrible from their beginning. That's a hard pill to swallow right there. That's a hard pill to swallow. Shoot, y'all itself say, he said, y'all are stubborn and stiff-necked people from the minute I met you. That's hard right there. That's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's why you ain't got no business running around glorying in your flesh, because that's a hard pill to swallow. When Yah itself tell you terrible from your beginning, and you've been stubborn and obstinate from the minute I met you, that's hard to swallow. And that's all, and what we were talking about last night. Go ahead.
I was going to say at the same time, that shows you how real he is.
Oh yeah, thorough.
Love
He
this.
loved Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, boy.
He loved us, and he like this here though. Boy, y'all some hard-headed niggas, boy.
That's just ugly.
That's ugly.
It's ugly.
That's almost like your parents.
It don't make no sense.
But you know, sometimes your parents won't look you in the face and tell you, you know, you was an old, stubborn, ignorant bastard. Because then your feeling go hurt. You run in the room and cry.
But that's different because your parents, you don't choose your parents, and your parents don't choose you. This man went out like.
Yeah, he went out his way for it.
He went out his way. He could have chosen any people.
Yeah, he seen.
And
He went out his way.
He chose a wicked, terrible, rotten nigga.
He seen something in us.
Right. He ain't see nothing in you. He saw something in Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He ain't see nothing in you.
Right.
He ain't see nothing in you. You
And
know
broke
what
bread.
broke bread with you, I clothed you, I fed you, gave you my word, gave you my protection, you gave me your butt. He said, y'all ain't give me the front. Let me say, y'all gave me the back.
Let you rule the nations too. Let you rule the
That's hard pill to swallow when somebody tell you gave me your butt to kiss. Come on, man. Henry J. Bird Jones. Go sit down. Come on, man. You gotta think about that type of stuff.
Well, no, we're not. We at 8. 7. But Shamahim and the rocks which are now by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of the ungodly man. But beloved, be not ignorant.
Don't be
of
ignorant.
this one thing.
One thing.
That one day with the master is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day.
Yes, sir.
And Yahuwah is not slack concerning his promise.
He's not what?
He is not slack concerning his promise.
What else?
As some men count slackness.
Because see, you know why? What do y'all think some men count slackness for? When you hear slackness, what you think about? I give you that.
definitely kind of step.
Shoot, really somebody who's a slacker ain't doing nothing at all. They lazy. Do you know what I'm saying? Almost borderline what you would call a procrastinator. And I done already told y'all what procrastination is, and we just seen that with that lady the other day. Procrastination is a sign of low self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? You procrastinate because you don't feel you have the ability to perform the task at hand. So you try to put it off as long as possible, or it's not a priority to you, and that's why you keep pushing it off. It's not important to you. Because what's important to you, you handle. So we look at him slacking because we count it slacking because we don't have confidence that he gonna do what he said he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? That's why people dip off from the word and go dealing with witchcraft or deal with Egyptology or try to mix them all. Go deal with Islam or just go do whatever because your confidence wasn't never in him because you feel like he's taking too long. Go ahead.
That's like when Moses was at the mountain with the children, they didn't want to wait.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to build their own God.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
He was up there praying and did a word from God to make it, and God gave him word. And God was angry with them. He was going to kill them. But Moses stepped in and yelled for them to tell God, you don't kill him. You brought out easy to kill him. He won because he stepped in and yelled for them. But taking the reins and all that to do what they want to do.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is because they said we don't know what happened to this Moses.
They was
Aaron,
patient.
make us some new gods.
They wouldn't wait.
Because that's lack of confidence.
Yeah, they wanted their own
Lack of
thing.
confidence. If it would have took them 1,000 days, what'd that mean to you? Wait on it.
Wait on it. Better wait on it. Sometimes we get patient and not wait on God because God wants to wait because he got a time, season, place, everything he want to do. We can't hurry God because he know when to come in.
Indeed, and since he said that, we just talked about that not too long ago, right? In this very room. Who remember what that is? In Ecclesiastes. His pleasure. When they say, hold on, let me read it to you. That Ecclesiastes 3:1, you know, everybody like to read it and mention it, but when you actually see what it actually says in the language that it's written in. And it said, to everything there is a time, and to every purpose under heaven. Remember that word purpose was kafetz, which means delight. That means it's a time for everything that's delightful to him, not to you. See, that's where we got the game twisted at. So you think it's about you, but it's really about him. He said, it's going to be a time for my pleasure to be done, not your pleasure. Mm-hmm.
I'm getting that time because I know I ask God give me strength to wait on you because I think God if he don't give you the strength, I said God give me the mind to do it. Because some people don't have the mind to do it and I have to ask God for strength and give me your mind. Because I ask for God to give me mind and give me understand what to do and give me a mind to wait on him because I say God, I don't understand anything, but I say God, I'm short patient and I need to give you some patience. Because if you don't talk to God and tell him to ask to him, talk to him, because he's the best one to talk to. And I talk to him all the time when I get like this. He has to me, they'll do better.
No doubt, because long suffering and patience, we look at it twofold. It means patience, and what was the other meaning? In Greek. It was to be slow to anger. You know what I'm saying? So when you long suffering, and when you look at y'all, it take y'all a long time to get mad. Long time. But when he do, But when he do,
You don't wanna be on any God.
you don't want to be on the other end of that. You know what I'm saying? But patience is one of the fruits of the Ruach, which many people do not have because they don't want to wait. The book tells you, you blessed if you wait. See, this is what I told you. This is what we like to do. We like to take our will and put his name on it to make ourselves feel better about what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. Just wait. Whatever he got is better than anything you can come up with. That's guaranteed. That is guaranteed. That's guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what you think best. Whatever he got is better than what you can come up with because some stuff ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to benefit you well. It may not suit you. You might not be able to pull out what need to be pulled out. I need to pull my shoulder out because I think I'm cracking. Come on.
It says, Yahuwah is not slack concerning his promises. Some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us war, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of Yahuwah will come as a thief in the night, in which Shamahin shall pass away with great noise.
You need to get it.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the rocks also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
Burnt up. Go ahead.
Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in
Ought
all
you to
God's
be?
conversation?
That you should be in all set apart conduct and what else?
And godliness.
And godliness.
Looking for the hasten unto the coming of the day of Elohim, wherein Shamahin shall be on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Fervent heat.
Nevertheless, we according to his promises look for the new Shamahin.
We look for what? We look for what?
The new heaven.
New heavens and what else?
In the new earth.
That's what we looking for.
Wherein
Dwell what? What dwell Yah himself. I ain't looking for no Mars. Go get your butt changed. That's what we need to put that dot bag that you got on. Come on back to Psalm 104. Now you being insolent, churlish. What did he say? That's so funny. What did he talk about? But like it say it right. They say churlish and rebellious. That's always funny, boy. I don't know what did they say. Jay Quellen. Let me say Aaron. Them boys were clowning hard. Them two boys are fools. You know that other dude that came up at the end? That's the dude that wrote Get Out. I still ain't never seen that motion picture. Yeah, you know he got a show on. But that's a show from on Comedy Central. Dude, a comedian by trade. Yeah, I knew his last name. I couldn't remember his first name. He ain't that funny though. Like his comedic timing sucks. But that tall red dude, that boy a fool. That boy there a fool. Come on, man. Where we at? Psalm 104.
Yep. 33.
Psalm 104 and 33. Get it to him, man.
I will sing to Yahuwah as long as I live, and I will sing praise to my Elohim while I have my being.
Show live.
My meditation of him shall be sweet.
Sweet.
And I will be glad in Yahuwah.
Glad.
Let the sinners be consumed out of the earth.
Out of the earth.
So
when you see that, when you see that consumed, then what character is that in that word? The Shon. So that's why we look at it in that fashion. That if you're perverse and crooked, then that Shon gotta come through, them teeth gotta come through and devour you. And remember he said he's gonna devour you with. So when he says that he's going to slay you with the sword of his mouth, why does he say that?
It's in Revelation.
Yeah, but why does it say he's gonna slay you with the sword of his mouth? Why does it say that?
Because the word.
There's the word.
By the word.
You know what I'm saying? So that's, remember, because what did we read at the beginning, right? Well, we didn't read that one now, but you can get it now. John 12 and 44. But before you get it, give me Hosea 6, man. Probably about verse 6. And from that, Hebrews 4 and 12. That's why he used that representation of a sword coming out his mouth, because he's going to cut you with the same very word that was supposed to heal you, but you chose to forsake it. That's what happened to your forefathers. Same word that would have healed them is the same word that killed them. That's why it ain't good to play with it. That's why he tell you it was better for you not to never heard it than to hear it and go backwards. Mm-hmm. I've been told y'all that before. How many of y'all take a dump and stick your hand in the toilet? Ain't nobody finna do that. Anybody finna do that? I don't know. Some of y'all that type of drunk that just wallow in your vomit. Some people get that drunk.
Give me Johnny.
Shit, Johnny look like shoot on Thursdays. My granddaddy was that type of drunk.
Why the turn to the stop? She look back.
Mm-hmm.
You look down, you look back, and when you look back, you don't know you might make it back. Because some people don't even make it back.
Ain't nothing back there no way.
Ain't nothing back there for
Well, I walked out of prison. I ain't look back and be like, boy, I missed that place. I'm glad for getting around these niggas, man. The niggas in here lying, raping, beating their meat. I'm good. I'm good. Who? Niggas go back every other day. What? Like they running back. Can't wait to get back. The odds say I'm supposed to went back within 2 years. The odds say I'm supposed to went back within 2 years. That's what the odds say.
But when you go back, it's kind of hard for you to get back because, you know, when I backslid, it was kind of hard for me to get back because somebody was praying for me. And thank God for other people's prayers because whatever they were praying for me, I wouldn't probably got back.
No, I ain't talking about word-wise. I'm talking about prison.
No, I'm talking about when you go back like that, and look back.
See, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you why dudes go back to prison. I was locked up with a dude in the county who left to go to prison before I left. Met him in prison. He got out and came back before I came home. I only had 5 years. Shoot.
I know niggas doing 25.
No, I'm talking about 5 years is not a long time for somebody to go to prison before you, get out while you there, and come back before you get out. Which means he couldn't have had a long time on his first sentence. See what I'm saying? Because when I get to walk color, I'm like, boy, did you go home? Yeah, boy, I called another one. Walked off on that nigga, man, went in my bum. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't want to talk to you, cuz. I don't want to even talk to you right now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to get him out of here.
I'm trying to get you, but you know what happened though? He was in there for selling rocks and got right back out and did the same thing and came right back. You know what I'm saying? See, let me tell you something, man. The word in prison is exactly the same thing, and I'm gonna show you why. When you go to prison, no, I'm just saying, when you go to prison, you got to have it in your mind what you gonna do when you get up out of here and you set that this is what I'm gonna do because I'm not gonna go back to this particular situation or circumstance. When you hear that word and you know what you've been doing, then you got to already have it set in your mind, I'm not going back to doing this right here. I'm not returning to that because I already know what I got out of it when I was doing it. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, when that cracker looked me in the face and said, you know what? You carried yourself in a professional fashion in my courtroom and I like you. But you broke the law. And he gave me 5 years. I thought in my head, I said, boom, boom. Little Muffin be 18. Boy, I ain't selling no more rocks, boy. I'm good. I hadn't even went in the back to the court, shoot back to the county yet. I said, no, I'm good. 2009 roll around, shoot. Boy, I sleep up on the underpass before I sell and nigga rock. Because, boy, I'm not going to be sitting here with 72 niggas every day.
That's not what they think about. Like,
Some do.
well, what if they get out and see that situation has changed? Like, what if they feel like this?
Shoot, I ain't going, and I had in my mind if that situation hadn't changed, I will be damned before I go back to prison for you. Straight up. Before I go back to prison for you, or for you, or for you, you on your own. Because see, at the end of the day, you can go back out there and do that, but them people ain't coming to do that bid with you. You know what I'm saying? See, I got classified as an habitual felony offender, meaning that if I count another case, I'm going for life. I'm not going to be sitting in here with these niggas for you. Oh no, and then on top of that, though, at the same token, you ain't guaranteed to come home. See, that's the other part that we ain't talking. You ain't guaranteed to come home. All that stuff that be going, niggas get stabbed. Niggas get locked inside. Niggas get beat up. I done seen niggas get locked inside, boy. You understand me? Bah! You know what I'm talking about? Boy, I told y'all, my first week at my main camp, boy, nigga walked up the car, locked me, socked him, bah! I said, oh, man, what he cracker got a nigga at, man? You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, shoot, I seen it, and I walked off. They ain't got nothing to do with me. He like, oh, y'all don't let me die. Shoot, nigga, you good or dead messing with me. I ain't got nothing to do with me, cuz. You know what I'm talking about? Cause who? I ain't trying to be walking around here and I got to watch my back cause a nigga finna stab me by Sunday ain't had nothing to do with me. That's just different type of rules in there, man. It's different. You ain't guaranteed to come home. You know what I'm saying? Nigga get stabbed for looking at niggas' pumps. Cause nigga feel like you stepping on my old lady. Nigga will come stab you. And if you a nigga who is not a man of respect and a man of honor, you gon' die or get beat up. Nigga woke up one day when I was at golf and stabbed his roommate 12 times on general principle. And nigga woke up and was like this here. Wah, wah. We see him pulling him up out of there. Sour deal. You think I'm finna go back to that? On top of niggas in here lying every day, niggas kissing men in the mouth, and these niggas raping themselves in the bathroom every day. And I ain't even talking about the COs, because in Florida, you need to be more worried about the COs than the inmates, because they killing more niggas than anybody. One of them COs say it's plenty niggas buried in the forest at Lake Butler that don't nobody know about. And this is what they do. They kill you, and when your people call and say, where's Johnny at? Oh, he in transit to such and such prison. Where's Johnny at? He in transit to such and such prison. They never find you. Play with it. Man, that junk ain't sweet. Yeah, man, who? I ain't trying to go back to that. When I was at Lake Butler, that cracker said, I don't like niggas from Jacksonville. I said, well, that sounds like a person. I done forgot where I'm at. The cracker could get me killed. You know what I'm saying? Because all he got to do like that, bro, they got something called reckless eyeballing. You walking and you looking, oh, she fine. Bah! I done seen it happen. Slap the fire out of nigga, man. I'm a man. How you gonna slap me? They make niggas sweep the sun off the sidewalk. And if you don't do it, they want to beat you to death. Bro, them niggas take bread and throw it and say, you better not let the birds get it. Play with it. Boy, when I was at Jefferson, boy, they killed the dude, man. Beat him to death. Man, I'm telling you, man. That's what I'm telling you, right? So guess what? Now you see all that there, death and destruction, and you gonna go back to that? Then you turn around and you talking about you was in sin and what you was in when you was in sin. Death and destruction. And you gonna go back to that? Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's just be real. Who gonna go back to that?
How many niggas in prison?
Millions. Some of them in there for stupid stuff. Some of them in there because their system crooked. You don't send no man to prison for driving on no suspended license. I was locked up with plenty. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them set themselves up for being stupid. I set myself up for being stupid. I knew I know that nigga in that truck. He looked like he had a truck of somebody I knew. And when I seen it wasn't that white woman, I supposed to turned away and walked off. Nigga, I don't know you, cuz. I'm high. I ain't thinking about what this nigga talking about. I'm thinking about the next thing I'm finna do. I'm thinking about what me and Marie, this book we read and all this other stuff. He like, let me get something. Like, nigga, what do you want? Give me a dog. Oh, nigga, get out my face. You know what I'm saying? When my homeboy hit me, he like, boy, vice everywhere, be careful. I said, God, big boy, I done served the police. And then I, kept it calm. Take their money. I should have gave him my rocks. And that's it. Because shoot, I'm finna go to jail, so ain't no sense of panicking. That nigga pulled up to buy weed. I gave him weed and gave him their money along with it. Said, boy, go ahead and dip. I should have just gave him a rock, though. Then they wouldn't have caught me with nothing. Gotta stay calm. Ain't no sense of getting nervous. Shoot, that's part of the job. That's what I'm telling you. You serve God, what you getting nervous for? You only get nervous because you ain't doing your job. That man cracked the sky and you scared and you around here. What it said in Revelation 1:7 they going to be doing? Running and hollering? Now how you running and hollering and Joel say he going to be the hope and strength of his people? Who? You going to be like this here. Praise the Lord. You're nervous, you going to be like this here. He coming. He coming because you ain't ready. You ain't ready. Got to be ready. Come on with it, man. You got to be ready. Y'all know the song. Who sang that song? Al Green sing that song? You got to be ready. You finished Psalm 104, right?
Hosea 6.
Hosea 6:6. Tell me what 6:6 say.
It say, for I desire mercy and not sacrifice.
Give me 4 then, because that ain't what I want.
It say, O Ephraim, what shall I do unto thee? O Judah, what shall I do unto thee? For your goodness is as the morning cloud, and as the early dew, it goeth away. Therefore have I hewn them by the prophets, and I have slain them by the words of my mouth.
I did what?
Slain them by the words of my mouth.
By the words of my mouth. Hebrews 4:12. By the words of my mouth. We got to crank it up a notch. What we at? We ain't at about 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Ain't even 4 o'clock yet. Jay Bird, you get your butt changed.
He didn't do nothing. He was calling me after that.
Oh, he just farted. Okay.
Call it a little morning clap.
Morning. Jay Bird.
Little Hebrew.
Hebrew 4 and 12. You can make it 4 and 9.
It say, there remained therefore rest for the people of Elohim. For he that is entered into his rest, he also have ceased from his own works.
He
So
done did
Elohim
what?
did from his.
He ceased from what?
His own work.
He ceased from what?
His own work.
Pause. Get me, what that is, man? Is that John 19? Yeah, that's John 19. Give me John 19 and 28. You come on back. What's up there, Bird? What's up there, Bird? What's up there, Bird? What's up there, Bird? John 19 and 29. Make it 28. See, now when we looking at ceasing from your own works like he did from his, now we get into the part about love seeking out our own. What did the Mashiach say when he went to go pray? I seen a brother post something today, right? And I know what he feel because I do it from time to time. You know what the Mashiach like to do all the time? He would slide off from his disciples and go pray by himself. Sometimes it's difficult to pray around a whole bunch of people and you got to go on off by yourself. He did it a lot. You know what I'm saying? I do it myself personally, but he do it a lot. He slide off and go off in the mountain somewhere all by himself. They wonder, where he went at? I don't know. Sometimes you got to do that to my know it. Jay Bird, what's up? Boy, you heavy, man. I'm strong, but I ain't that strong. Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
John 19
And 20.
and 20.
8.
After this, Yahushua, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scripture might be fulfilled, said, I thirst. Now there was a set vessel full of vinegar, and they filled a sponge with vinegar, and they put it upon hyssop, and put it to his mouth. Yahushua therefore had received the vinegar, and said, it is finished.
He said it's what?
It is finished.
It's what?
It is finished.
So what was finished? His work. But whose work was he doing? He wasn't doing his own will. And that's how you got to move, and that's how you got to live. That's the mind he had. He said it's finished. Now you can go back and read that Hebrew 4 and 9 one more time. Matter of fact, pause. Give me Exodus 31 and 20. Jay Bird. Say, I don't wear them shoes no more, fam. I ain't wore them since pre-K. I said, go get the strap. So you can get some strap like the Velcro shoes. So I ain't wore them since pre-K.
It said, Yahuwah spoke unto Moses, saying, speak thou also unto the children of Yasharal, saying, verily my Shabbat ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout the generations.
Pause. I know this is a very simplistic question. I don't mean to insult anybody's intelligence. What Shabbat mean? Rest. And he says, so this rest is a what? It's a what?
He said, it is a sign.
So if the rest is a sign, what does that mean to you, Khaled? That's your husband. That's your husband. What that mean to you, Khaled? Because she ain't got to say she don't know, because I ain't accepting it no way. We're going to reject that deposit. That sonship ain't that good. Why you trying to cheat? They is good. When he said that my Shabbat Shabbat means rest, and that his rest is a sign.
Throw it in the
What
trash.
does that
Throw
mean?
it in the trash.
Do you have any idea what that means?
Throw it in the trash.
Do you got any idea what that means? That's a sign.
Huh?
That his rest is a sign between you and him.
Yeah. I didn't think they was
Promises. What about you, Shayla? You gonna come back on the Shabbat? What about you, little muffin? We say his rest is a sign between you and him. What you say, then?
Yeah, I was
What about you, Lee? You not sure? I will not accept that answer. I need another answer. I'm not taking that from you. You say, why? Well,
Everybody else that does.
well, let me ask you this here, Lee, since you don't want to answer that one. What character in the olive top means sign?
That means what?
Sign.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fair question.
It is a fair question.
Which character in the olive top means sign, Lee? That's it. I mean, that's definitely, that's absolutely correct.
It was fair.
It was fair. And what is and D, what's another meaning for tie? What's another one? You got sign and what else you got?
Sign, mark,
Come on, that's what we want. So when we see that his Shabbat his rest is a sign or a covenant between what? You and him. So what would that covenant be? What would that covenant be? No, not on this one here. Because it's a covenant between you and him. See, the heavens and new earth is a covenant between him and all those who obey him. But this covenant is between you and him. His rest is a sign or a covenant between you and him. Anybody want to roll dice on that? You want to roll dice on that? Y'all want to roll dice? What's the covenant? If he says that rest is a sign or a covenant between you and him, what is that covenant? I will accept that answer because that is the correct answer. I'm going to read to you. John 14.
I don't think I understood the question. I mean, I understood it, but
Because if this is his rest and he just said it's finished, what did the Mashiach just do? He died. So a covenant is not in any effect unless what happens? Testator dies. So guess what you're going to have to do for the covenant to be in effect? So that means you could not seek your own way. Remember, say love seek not her own. So that means you can't do what you want to do. You're going to have to do what he say do. And that's how, because that's where we get the game twisted when we saying we love this man, but we seeking our own will.
I get what you're saying.
Can't do
You're
it.
saying that promises what he promised. to
His
everybody.
promises is Ruach.
But everybody individually gotta die.
Everybody. Yes, ma'am.
Just keep his word and, his commandments and follow them.
Yes, ma'am.
I was thinking about Noah for some reason. Like, his
He
name
made a
mean
covenant with him too.
rest? Cause don't his name mean rest or something?
It means
Or he healed the ground?
mean comfort.
Comfort.
So I can see why he came to your mind. It mean comfort. John 14 and 15. After that, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 15. Yeah, we're gonna come back to Exodus.
No, John 4 or John 14?
John 14 and 15.
So you done with 19?
Yeah, we good. We still got Hebrew chapter 4,
Yeah, I got that. You said 14 and 19?
14 and 15 of John.
It says, if you love me, keep my commandments.
If you what?
If you love me, keep my commandments.
What else?
And I will pray for the Father, he shall give you another
He'll
comforter.
give you another what?
Comforter.
Mm-hmm.
That he may abide with you forever.
That he might do what?
Abide with you forever.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Ruach of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwell with you, and shall be in you.
Mm-hmm. Now let's look at 2 Corinthians chapter 2. Make it verse 12. Henry J. Bird Jones, I can't pick you up. Not right now. 2 and 12. J. Bird, go sit down.
It says, furthermore, when I came to Troas to preach the Mashiach Basor, and the door was opened unto me of Yahuwah, I had no rest in my Ruach, because I found not Titus my brother, but taking my leave from then I went thence to Macedonia.
Yeah.
Now thanks be to Elohim, which always causes us to triumph in Mashiach.
He causes us to what?
Triumph.
How did Hamashiach triumph?
He defeated death.
How did he defeat death?
He sacrificed.
Because he died. So how else you going to triumph? What did Paul say in Corinthians, right? And in Romans? He said, but thanks, he said, who shall deliver me from this body of this death? You know what I'm saying? Like, we seeking to get there, and that takes us back to what we were talking about in Ecclesiastes. He's got to delight for his will to be accomplished. So you have to delight for his will to be accomplished. He said in Isaiah, my word ain't coming back to me void. It's going to accomplish the very thing that I set it out to do. That's why I told you last night, you can't make crooked. You can't make straight what he done made crooked. You can't save who he done marked for destruction. Everybody ain't marked for salvation. Some people marked to go to hell. Some people marked for wrath to drop on their head. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing about that. That's what I would tell you like this here, right? You know, like I told you, my people's up north, that done clicked in his head. Like, you can't make nobody believe or do nothing. I don't care how many times you tell them. If they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. So you might well leave them alone. Yeah, you can't do nothing. Everybody, boy, you're going to get this truth. You're going to receive it. Shoot. No, I can't make you receive what you don't want. He might have made your heart hard as concrete, so you ain't supposed to receive it. And ain't nothing I can do about that. That's what he did to Pharaoh. Ain't that what he did to Pharaoh? It wasn't nothing Pharaoh could have do to got that word. It wasn't nothing Pharaoh could do to get that word. Ain't nothing, shoot, you can't do nothing. Tell it to him, leave him alone. Like Paul said, you better pray that Elohim calls them to stop opposing themselves. That's about it. Cause I ain't finna argue with them. Shoot, do what you want to do. Anybody say, I'm going down there to mess with them homosexuals. Shoot, let that nigga keep puffing Peter. That's his problem. You know what I'm talking about? That's his problem. They ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go down there messing with the people. You know what I'm talking about? Leave them people alone. Shoot. Like they said, we're gonna go preach in front of the fair. Leave them people alone, let them eat their turkey legs and cotton candy, man. I'm not gonna go out there and mess with them people. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Shoot. Everybody just feel like you're supposed to be everywhere in every spot telling people the word. Man, look here, man. That's how you know y'all ain't son him to do it, because he wouldn't dare do nothing like that. I'm going to post up at the Jaguar game. They going to get this truth. You stupid bastard, leave them people alone. They not finna listen to you. They not finna listen to you.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
They be out there. But guess what, though? All jokes aside, though, they'll go there. They ain't going in no hood, though.
They trying to get their people.
I ain't gonna say that. Now, Danny Warfel, though, Danny Warfel gonna go. Y'all know who that is? He played for the Florida Gators, won their national championship back in '96. And that man been preaching in New Orleans in some of the most hardest neighborhoods in New Orleans since his NFL career flamed out. He played for the Saints. He the only nigga who got his whole helmet turned backwards in the game, because nigga hit him so hard his helmet went this way. You know? I'll show you the clip after the game. They hit that man so hard his helmet went backwards. He won a Heisman Trophy and all.
Lost his nose and all.
But his ministry, though, you got a lot of ministry going in the hood now. White ones, too. Oh, you know Mormons going in the hood, just two apiece on that bicycle.
We'll catch them coming out of Cleveland Arms.
Anytime. You got niggas who don't preach the word scared to go to Cleveland Arms. You got regular niggas scared to go to Cleveland Arms. How you scared to go around your own people? You can't let no white man do you like that. If the white man ain't scared to go around your own people, you can take your black behind around them.
That's how you know they believe what they like.
Absolutely.
They believe what they believe in.
And they ain't worried about nobody doing nothing to them.
Cheese in his mouth.
Word or no word, I ain't worried about nobody doing nothing to me. Shoot, for what? You can't live your life like that. I ain't scared to be around no black people. White people, another conversation.
Yeah, I think about that. Dave Chappelle.
That's another conversation. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of them get around, you don't know what they got on their mind.
But you can't get out of
Shoot, they don't disrespect no white people. This is what it is. Boy, some of them crazy. Some of them crazy. I ain't gonna be sitting around no 100 of y'all. Shoot. I might not make it out alive when I'm like, that's a nigger. That's how I got to run.
That's it. That's all it takes.
That's all it
I'll
takes.
take it one yell something crazy. All of them.
That's all it takes.
All they switch turn.
I ain't gonna tell you no lie, bro. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. It's two things taught me that. What happened to Emmett Till and Russian Rosewood? I said, no, buddy. Nobody. You won't get me like that. No, sir.
And they can know it's wrong too.
No, sir.
Just the one person on. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no.
That's what we talking about. Rose.
Oh, I know what movie you talking about. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the movie watched where Mary J. Blige played his mama and they beat Buddy and they yeah, they cut his balls off. Oh, no. I feel more comfortable around black people. Cause one thing I know about black people, boy, a black man ain't gonna do nothing to you without cause.
Hey, 10 out of 10.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, black people just ain't finna around kill that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got to be a reason, unless you in a gang neighborhood, but you know the codes they live by. So you already know how they live in. When you go around there. You go to Chicago, you know how they live in. You know you ain't supposed to be walking these blocks and you don't know nobody, you might get shot. But if it's 100 of us all around, I'm cool. Unless I know one of y'all niggas got some beef with somebody, then I ain't hanging out with you. Because somebody might come around here shoot. They ain't trying to shoot me, they trying to shoot you, but they gonna shoot whoever around you. White people, ain't nothing got to be going on. Let's just feel like nigga hunting today. And I'm not finna be the nigga you hunt.
And then you think about the other way around, if it's a cracker around a bunch of niggas, like, and the nigga try to do something to the cracker, niggas look out for him.
Oh yeah, they gonna ride for him if they down with him. Sometimes though, I'd have been in a situation they sat there and watched it. But they definitely, them boys on the beat definitely let Cracker Joy catch his.
That boy must have been making some money or something.
He was.
Let's do a hate to him. But if they know you innocent.
They definitely slipped something in his drink and he woke up with rug burns in their empty pocket.
Yeah, that makes sense. I already knew that sounds about right. But if this little innocent cracker, like if you go to Cleveland Arms and the niggas try to jump the woman, they ain't gonna let the woman get them.
I ain't gonna tell you no lie. In my youth, I'd have sat, boy, they dragging them boys. Boy, they dragging them niggas.
It's gonna be 2-3 good-hearted niggas.
It's good. I ain't
want
want
to
to.
get off the cracker, man. You know it is.
No, I might let him get off. I ain't gonna let you kill him.
About 2-3 niggas be like,
You gonna come over there and say, like, hold on, bro, hold on, come on, man, leave it alone, bro. We done had enough, bro. Nigga ain't gonna
You know what
never.
I'm saying? It's gonna be
They ain't gonna
these
terrorize the
2-3.
cracker.
They're gonna be like, man, y'all boys leave them alone, man.
No, ain't no disrespect to white, but we just dealing with reality, though.
Definitely.
And that's just reality. It's just, no, that's just, it is what it is. The average, we talking about average everyday life. That's reality. You know full well, if you go into all white, like, well, it's been dudes that do real estate investing that go driving for dollars in white neighborhoods and they had the police pull them over and they done up fire on them talking about what you doing around here. It's a dude we know who posted a video of the police doing him about that on a house he was selling. And he said, hold on, let me take you around here to my property and open up. You want to buy it? I got it going for $400,000 right now. Dude was looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality. That doesn't mean that all white people are this, that, there, and the third. That's the reality. Just like we know in the reality in the hood, if you know them boys gang banging and they doing this here, it's a good chance you might get shot if you hanging with them. If they selling drugs, it's a good chance you might get locked up. But I feel comfortable being around my own people. And I ain't mad at white people if they feel being comfortable around their own people. You should feel comfortable around your own people. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That don't mean you dislike another group of people. Why would I feel more comfortable around somebody who don't look like me, who don't understand nothing what I'm going through or how I live?
I feel like that's just America. I mean, if you in your own country, you run into niggas every day.
Every day.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it's
Every day.
America, so
It's
it's
more
like,
American pie, so
yeah, you bring like that from work. Nigga, you see your friends every day. Like,
Oh yeah, you know they do. I like, you know, white people, and it's hilarious. We told you about that white girl drinking water out the urinal. Shoot, you seen Lil Duval posted that little white girl drinking that water out that urinal. Shoot, it was disgusting. Come on, man. It wasn't, she wasn't drinking the water out the bottom, like she was flushing it.
Yeah, that's still there.
You know what I'm saying? Shoot. For some people saying it's the same water come out the faucet, so.
It is, man.
Yeah. I still ain't drinking it out the urinal, but.
Yeah, you probably got.
No, from what they say, it's the same water.
No, I'm talking about her tongue got touched. You'll have to get more water.
Yeah, she did put her face on it. She put her face on it. But you know, white people humor is hilarious. You know, Seinfeld and all them, you know, they different. They different. Come on, man. Hey, Lil Mike, Lil Mari. Y'all need to find some. Well, Lil Mike, he ain't little no more.
Lil Morty?
Mordecai get a pass.
Lil Morty.
Lil Mordecai like he right here, he ready to go on shopping.
Well, like a young professor.
Young professor.
We had Corinthians.
2 Corinthians, come on. Hammer right. Go sit down. Don't look sad. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 14. Go sit down.
It said, now thanks be unto Elohim, which always causes us to triumph in Hamashiach, and make it manifest the savor of his knowledge by us in every place.
Every place.
For we are unto Elohim a sweet savor of Hamashiach,
Mm-hmm.
and them that are saved, and in them that perish.
Mm-hmm.
To the one we are the Savior of death unto death, and to the other the Savior of life unto life. And who is fishing for these things? For we are not as many which corrupt the word of Elohim, but as of sincerity, but as of Elohim, in the sight of Elohim.
Now, let me ask y'all this question. When he says that the savor of death unto death, and the other savor of life unto life, what does that mean? I can give you that. Yeah, because Abigail back there hollering, she must have hit her head. Yeah. You know Abigail. Then what it said, right? He say to one. So when he say, he's referring to themselves, the apostles. We are the savor of death unto death. Remember, he said, for we are under Elohim a sweet savor in a Mashiach, in them that are saved and in them that perish. To the one we are the savor of death unto death, and the other the savor of life unto life. So when he say a sweet savor, what does that mean? Let's just take a step out.
I think about they sacrificed themselves so that they could.
No, he said that that's an offering, right? So he's saying that they are, stop. He said that they are offering for them that are saved and them that perish.
Hey.
Don't
go
worry.
to your room.
Go sit with yourself. Because you're phony.
You're a fraud.
A fraud.
Fraud.
Give me Ephesians 5:1. Maybe we can work that down for you. Five and 1. Remember, a savor is a sacrifice.
Be ye therefore followers of Elohim as dear children and walk in love. As Mashiach also loved us and hath given himself an offering and a sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet smelling savor.
So how is that sweet smelling savor in them that are saved and in them that perish at the same time? Because then Paul come back around and he say, because to one we are the savior of death unto death, and the other of life unto life.
The one that died and they believe.
Mm-hmm. What you say now?
So the ones that died and believe is the ones that perish, and the other ones are the ones that are alive and believe.
Yahushua's sacrifice did two things. Let's look at one of them. Give me Matthew 26, right? Is it 26?
I'm thinking it's not him being the witness to them who don't sacrifice themselves.
One is to, and I just go ahead and get an answer now, and then we'll look at it. If he's the savor of death unto death, that means he died for your sins. So since you stay in your sins, you're gonna die in yours. And he say of a savor of life unto life, meaning since you didn't want to accept this sacrifice, then you're gonna die. And since you do accept this sacrifice, you're gonna live, because in that same sacrifice, life came out of it. And that same sacrifice, death is in it. And that death is going to be representative of those who don't obey it. Go ahead.
What he's saying is, you don't believe in his ungodly son. You don't believe in his word. Believe that he died for our sin and accept him as Savior. And want to live according to his word.
Let me back.
Those who don't want to believe, they're going to perish.
Absolutely. Let me ask y'all this question.
They're not believing his word. They're not living by his word.
And y'all know the answer to the question. What did they say when they were about to kill him? What did all the people say in unison? So that's death for them. His death was death for them. You know what I'm saying? Remember, what did Paul say in Romans 2, right? He say those who have the law will perish with the law, and those without it gonna do what? You're gonna perish without it. Y'all remember in the law where that go to, right? Them Canaanites perish. They ain't had no law. They still perish. That didn't absolve you from all the wickedness you had going on. Because you ain't know. But they did know. They knew what they were doing was wrong. You know laying with animals ain't right. You know what I'm saying? You know laying with somebody else's wife ain't right. You know lying ain't right. You know it ain't right. People don't care though. You know what I'm saying? I seen a dude the other day, he talking about when you vote, you're promoting the beast system. You're saying it's okay to be a homosexual. Just because Obama or a president say it's legal for homosexuals to get married don't make you a homosexual.
No.
You chose to go do that. Just because they say you can go get an abortion don't mean that he forcing you to do it, because you still had to make the choice to go do that. You got a choice to make. At the end of the day, you went and did what you wanted to do. See, if you were sitting down, you wouldn't have had that problem. Now you have to really look at it that way. At the end of the day, whatever direction or whatever happens, it's happened based off the choices that you made. I heard a brother like this here, right? And he told the truth. You can only use your parents as an excuse for your choices. He gave it up to 30. He said, once you got to 30, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? I would simply say about 25, and that's pretty much on you. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're able to formulate what you're doing, why you doing it, and why you chose to do it. Like my mama taught me better. I knew selling crack was wrong. I didn't have to get to 25 to know that.
The word said if you know right or wrong, you know to do good thing, you know right or wrong. You know.
Yeah, he said if you do evil, instead if you do what's wrong, he said you know that's sin under you. But we're not even bringing the word into play. We're just talking about regular, everyday people. Because what this brother was talking about, people saying my parents didn't do this, my parents didn't do that. It's my parents' fault. So his point was, once you hit 30, you making all them choices.
Well, then they say when you get 12 years old, it's
No, I don't say that. There's no age on it at all. That's really just stuff that people said and then it just spread. You know what I'm saying? But when we look at it, we all adults in here. We all responsible for the choices that we made. You know what I'm saying? A lot. Now, I tell you now, like when you're between 18 to 22, you still a child, so you're going to make childlike decisions. Because you're not grown because you turned 18. You know what I'm saying? You think you're grown. You know what most people make? Most people think they grown because they toot their little booty in there and pull their little penis out, so they think they grown because they around here hunching. You know what I'm saying? So you think you're grown now. Can't nobody tell you nothing because I'm having sex. You still have the mind of a child because you still are a child. You know what I'm saying? You're not no grown person at 22 unless you had some real extensive life experiences by that time.
Well, I think when the person, when they get, like girls 18, when they grown, men 21, they got the age and they should know.
I mean, I could get at that. See, I was talking with a young lady yesterday, and she was just giving an example why she's hard on her daughter. And she was hard on her daughter because she see her daughter hot in the tail. She knew that she was hot in the tail and that she was a teenage mother. Her mother was a teenage mother, and her grandmother was a teenage mother. And she don't want to be a grandmother. You know what I'm saying? So she trying to break that, but she live in a community of people who don't see nothing wrong with letting little girls do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody really coming and tell this little girl like, hey, you need to value your body. We didn't have this conversation in here. And every woman in here said if they people would have sat down and had a conversation with them, they'd have kept their leg closed. And they might very well still been virgins for an extended period of time. She was frustrated because the father of her child is not doing certain things, but every man in here can attest to it. If you got a daughter, you don't really want to deal with the reality that one day she's going to have sex. You don't want to deal with it.
But some like, man, you got some molested.
That is true.
And there's something like me, I was molested at a young age because it's something that I didn't ask for.
Oh, no doubt.
And somebody took it away, but it takes God to get back to the person. It takes a lot of stuff to go through. Like you get pain, you get a lot of pain, and be pain, and be hurt because it didn't happen to you.
Now that's a different scenario. That's a completely different scenario. See, I don't see like it was somebody I grew up with, and I found out that they were molested, and I'm like, you know what? It explains your behavior when we were young. It explained what you did because I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm young. How am I going to know that? You're not going to tell us that. We 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, that's what happened to you. But looking back on it, I see, okay, that's why you did this and this why you did that, because that messed your head up. You know what I'm saying? You was a child. You ain't deserve that. But some of us, we not children, our people, I can say especially men. Boy, a man don't want to sit down and talk to his daughter about having sex because in his mind, this is my little girl, and if I have this conversation, she ain't my little girl no more. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to accept that fact. She's going to have sex one day. She's going to be somebody's wife. She's going to be somebody's mother. Like I was telling you, that's why you see dudes sometimes break down the way they break down when they get their daughter away. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard pill. But when you look on the flip side, I ain't saying this what one side is right or wrong. We talking about perspective on how men view things. If he find out his son out here having sex, that's my boy. His daughter having sex, he destroyed. Because he not going to look at his son like that 2-3-year-old little boy. But he always going to see his daughter as that little girl. he don't want to sit back and see she's a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? She's starting to hit puberty, her butt growing, her hips coming out, her titties are sprouting. You don't want to deal with the fact men trying to lay with her, men making sexual advances towards her, and you're not even preparing her to how to handle that. You're not even talking to her about, look here now, I know you're grown, your hormones moving, but you got to value your body. You got to respect yourself. We don't want to have that conversation. Then when they come back home pregnant, you blame them for it. When they're young. I ain't talking about when you're in your 20s. I'm talking about young, 15. It was too many girls I went to school with, teenage mothers. And some of them grandmothers, and we not 40 yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up, that's just crazy to know that, well, I got peers who are grandparents. You know what I'm saying? I remember when they were pregnant with these kids when we was young, and these niggas grown now, and some of them got their own kids. And guess what's probably going to happen with their offspring? They're probably going to have teenage pregnancies and have children young. Because don't nobody want to go have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Especially with young girls. Especially with young girls. And most of y'all got girls in here. You better talk to them. You better have that conversation that you wish your people had with you. Because if you don't have that conversation with them and they come home with a baby, don't be mad with them. They come home 16, 17, good and pregnant, don't be mad with them now. Have a baby there. No, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I told you now, you got to wear that on your own. She gonna tell her that. She gonna like, come on, where my grandbaby at?
I mean, what you gonna let in the house? You gonna be there too?
It's gonna be the one to do it.
It sound good?
Come on, baby, man. Come on, baby.
Well, now they looking at it in the aspect of how we live. So if any one of them came home pregnant, you done played the whore in my house. You surely cannot stay here. Surely that nigga who impregnated you, surely he can care for you in this seed. Because that's where you got to live. Because you can't live here. Son and all. Oh, son, Daddy, I got a girl pregnant. Well, I hope you got you an apartment. Because you can't stay here. Because if you swinging penis, you definitely ready to get married and pay some bills. Because you definitely, you certainly are a man now. Because I only let children stay here, not grown people. It's time for you to go, son. It's time for you to go. You got to go. You can't live here. You know, that's what they used to do in the 50s. That's why they used to hide them pregnancies. Now, the nigga was still hunching just as much as niggas hunching now. But they hid it, though. They hid it, though. That's why them white folks push abortion. What's that? Yeah, that was y'all. Ain't nobody told you no better. Let's sit back and look at it, right? You're 18, 19, 20 years old. Who telling you keep your leg closed? Who telling you keep your penis in your pants?
I said that. My mom told me that.
She told you that?
Yeah, come on, told me you. I get real pregnant. But you foot the bill, you foot the tab. The whole tab.
It's not easy when you only have your parents or people that are close to you trying to tell you the right thing, but when you're pushed into a system like school, we have peer pressure, you know, everything going on, like you don't know who to listen to because all you see every day for hours is people doing the total opposite.
See, I mean, when you're going to deal with peer pressure regardless. So, like the word tells us, you know, if sinners entice thee, consent not. All you can really do is tell them, and then after that, your choice on you. You know what I'm saying? Now, most of y'all, ain't nobody tell you nothing. So then when you go around all these people, you like, boy, smoke this joint. Girl, if you love me, you'll give me some. And your hormones is flowing around, and you feeling like this nigga not going to like you if you don't do it. You end up doing it, then you were like, I should have waited.
Come here.
You know what I'm saying? Because you young, you don't know no better. Ain't nobody telling you no better. Like, you know what, man? Most dudes don't even sit down and give their daughter the game about the junk that niggas be putting. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
They said they should sit down and talk to them. They know how the game is, but they used to run the game.
Yeah, see, I had dudes run my way. They telling the game. They're telling the game. They be like, boy, these how these hoes play now. Don't let these hoes get you. I'm telling you. Taiwan, Damon, They tell a nigga quick, boy. Hey, boy, don't you be no fool let these whole game you, boy. So I told you, boy, I was 12. My mama said, you gonna work too hard for your money to give it to a woman because she opened her legs. You know what I'm saying? But get what, though? You know how many dudes I seen for some booty? Shoot, I go smoke me some weed. That's how I felt. Shoot, I ain't got to pay to play with nothing, boy. These hoes out here giving it up for a chicken box and a high five. You know what I'm talking about?
Man, I don't know. That old trigger nigga tell you.
Shoot, many chicks I done seen let dudes knock them down for a blunt.
Ooh.
Shoot, y'all know them.
Still paying.
$4 sack. She don't even want the whole bag. All you gotta do is let her tap it.
Definitely. Baby, you want to tap it twice, man?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
We talked about this last week. You know dudes be on the prowl for chicks with low self-esteem. On the prowl, them easy marks. Dudes who trying to hit ain't trying to talk to no confident woman. I'm trying to talk to her. Shoot, that's too much work. Baby over there got daddy issues. Shoot, I can hit that in a week. And then if they couldn't get that, then they like them junkie hoes. Oh, she like to drink? Why y'all think dudes always trying to buy you a drink? You want some weed? You pop eggs? Come on, man.
This person, and they are white women. I just he said reason why I like white women because they don't do like black. The black women get a hard time.
Shoot, they ain't tell no lie. No, it ain't just that there, cause shoot, white women freaky, white. You got some white women that ain't gonna do it either. But get them at one of them cake parties, them white hoes ready. Them white hoes ready. But get what though? Get one of them black chicks around there, that cocaine, that weed, that ecstasy flowing, and they ready. Don't make no difference. A hoe is a hoe. Don't make no difference. She want to hunt, she gonna hunt. And you ain't telling your daughter what to do. You ain't getting her ready. Shoot, word or no word, you better tell them, but them sinners gonna come at you now. We ain't birthed no ugly children. You know what I'm talking about? You better guard your heart and guard your little stuff while you're at it. Put that full armor on because they trying to come get you.
Put their hands on you.
Who?
Okay, so I got a question. Now, when it was just Adam and Eve, before Eve committed the sin by listening to the serpent, were they having sex?
It don't say.
They don't say. Because what it looked like is the sexual activity that take place until after the fact, and that's when they started having kids.
That is correct. On that timeline, that's correct.
It do things, man.
Yeah, like it don't definitively say, but you could insinuate that though. It looked like they didn't start procreating until after.
The sin came.
But it makes sense because she had already committed sin, so the kids was unclean anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, matter of fact, because that's when matter of fact, when you look at it, they wasn't having sex. That's when he cursed her with childbirth, and then she had.
You got pain to try.
They wanted to say it was birth. It was all
They wouldn't have had no need to have sex.
No,
They was already up.
They wouldn't have had no need.
Like you said, the repetition.
They didn't know what naked was.
They didn't even know what naked was, so he know what no vagina was. No, she didn't know what no penis was. What is
I
that?
ain't never seen that before.
And guess what? Since them eyes been open, niggas been horny ever since.
Okay, so do you remember when I was saying that my grandma was saying that that's what Eve did?
Oh, a lot of people believe that, but that's not what she did.
Okay, so that's not what she did.
No, she didn't have, because you always got to remember this here though. That serpent is an angelic being, and angelic beings don't have need for sexual relations.
Rather at that point, Satan him holding out.
Yeah, but see, I've told y'all this before. They put that out there with like the devil's advocate, that Satan impregnated a woman, or Rosemary's baby, that Satan impregnated a woman. But angels don't have sex with people.
Yeah, so you already know. If we use that means he's still hitting them. Knocking them down.
Because that's a spiritual being that can make himself appear to be human. But he's still a spiritual being. He doesn't have blood and seminal fluid as we have. You know what I'm saying? She just said, basically what that goes back down to is what's in Daniel 11 or what the beast is going to do, which is teach people to go against the word. And that's what he did with her. He taught her to go against the word. Because remember, look what his response was. You will not surely die. You'll be as a god. No sexual relation needed. I just need you to go against what you were told to do. And listen to me and let me teach you. And then once she did that, that's like with Isaiah 28, you've made a covenant with death. To make a covenant, you have to be at an agreement, which means terms and conditions have to be espoused to you. So once she did that, that's what she did. But I heard that before I knew anything about the word. Because it sounds better than she just listened to his doctrine. Sounds better to say she had sex with him.
But you know that going to the whole Enoch thing.
They didn't necessarily, because you got people who ain't never read Enoch who say that.
Oh, yeah, they went over that.
Because they say that off what it say.
Yeah, and
The
then
sons and daughters.
and then you got the Nephilim thing.
That's what I'm saying. Go with that. It
You
makes
know-
sense if you gonna
Well, you know,
slide that in.
No, he talking about the Enoch tying into what's in Genesis 6, where it say the sons of God saw the daughters of men, and they were fair, and they took them for wives. So people see sons of God and equate that with being angels having sex with women, when sons of God are the sons of Adam or the offspring of Seth. And because that sounds better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is why people don't take the word serious, because people come with fantastical stories and doctrines that are diametrically opposed to what's written in them. So then when you see it, that's why they say it's a bunch of fairy tales. And all that's why I told you last night, like, shoot. Sitting in that, go ahead.
I had heard that, like what she was saying, I had heard. They, you know, they say that he slept with her and then that's why Cain was born.
Mm-hmm.
And Abel really was
Adam's
son. And Cain killed Abel because of that. That's what they say. And then they be like, then the
And you know where they get that
the
from?
angels came and they hit the daughters.
No, this is where they get this from. I'll tell you where they get this
You feel
from.
me?
Because when you read 1 John chapter 3, verse 10, it say because Cain was of that wicked one. So when they see that, they say, you see, Cain was he was Satan's son. When Yahushua said, you are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. So did them people come out of Satan's loins? No. He was of that wicked one because he was a murderer. You know what I'm saying? Because he said whoever commits sin is of the devil. So however you behave and conduct yourself, that's who you are of. So that's why they take that. See, he of the wicked one. See, she had sex with Satan, and see, that's where Cain came from. And that's why, and no, Cain was just a jealous individual. That's it. Like Paul wrote in Galatians, the children of the flesh persecute the children of the spirit as it is to this day. He was jealous of his brother. Remember, we read it last night. He didn't have no issue with Abel until Yah accepted him and rejected him. Now he mad. Now he want to kill his brother. Because it pulled the secret fault out of his heart, which was the jealousy and envy that was there. It couldn't have been manifest until he was put in a situation for it to be shown.
Yeah.
That's kind of like Esau. He didn't really care about his birthright until it was time to get it.
Till it was time to get it. The same thing we looked at Uzziah. It said he did what was right in the eyesight of Yah till he got strong. And then when he got strong, he got lifted up. And it showed that secret fault that was resting in his heart, that he wasn't fully riding with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he'll pull it out.
But I'm saying, how can you do what's right in his, is that just natural?
No, he was doing it, but but remember what we looked at, that he did all the things of Yah, but not with a perfect heart. So you
That
doing
wasn't the
it.
same person, was it?
No, that's different. You doing it, but you got something in you that's resting dormant. And that situation has not arose to pull out that secret fault. You know it's there.
Yeah.
You ignoring it.
But that's what I'm saying. With Cain, like, you think Cain knew that was there, or did that event bring
He-
that out? That's why
That
that's
event
you
brought it
said
up.
something.
Like, he may have known it was there. He may have not known it was there, but that event definitely showed it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to see the difference between the person who got something there and they've been doing right the whole time, and then the situation come versus.
Well, I'll be honest with
you.
you.
They got something.
I would say this is my personal opinion. I got you one second. This is my personal opinion. 99.9% of the time, you know what you got going on in your heart. You know it. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether you suppress it or acknowledge it is a whole nother conversation. But for the most part, you know it. That's what he said in 1 Kings chapter 8. Go ahead.
Paul said, the good I do not, but the bad I do.
Mm-hmm.
See, the good you don't do, but the bad you do, because it's in your heart, you know, that want to sit in your heart, come on out.
Remember what he told you in Mark, right? What he told you in Mark. It's not what goes into a man that defile him, but what come out. So it's the stuff you got in your heart. In your heart, is like I say, man, when it comes down to it, the word is very simple. It's a heart thing. Whatever you got dwelling in there, that's what you're going to do. If it's not dwelling in there, you're not going to do it.
Yeah, because this thing, I never thought I'd do it when it comes out. I go to ask God to forgive me and ask God to help me, you know, get it right. Because you don't know what's in your heart. You might think you know, but you don't know till God reveals it to you and show you that this in your heart, you need to get out of there.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Because Hebrews 4:12, because we've been holding that. We're 4 and 9. What you had already, though?
No, we're at 10. We're at 10, 4 and 10. But we was in
Corinthians.
the Corinthians.
We finished with Corinthians. Come on and give me 4 and 9 one more time.
Yeah, there remaineth therefore rest for the people of Elohim, for he that is entered into his rest, he has also ceased from his own works, and Elohim, as Elohim did from his. Let us labor therefore to enter into the rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. For the word of Elohim is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword,
Dividing.
piercing even to the dividing asunder
Of the what?
soul and ruach,
And what else?
and of the joints and marrow.
And what else?
It is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
So that's what's gonna show what's in your heart. That word gonna come. It's gonna show you what's in there. It's gonna show you what's in there. And it's gonna show you if you're gonna do his will or you're gonna do your own will. Come over here to cause we gotta do. Come on around here to Judges, right? Matter of fact, before you do that, give me Proverbs 14 and 12.
Yeah, God told Peter what he's gonna do.
Yeah. And I see now with Peter, that was a little different. This was written that he was gonna do this. Peter didn't know that was written that he was gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? So he looking at, no, boy, I would never do that. When you ought to just chill out. Because he had already told them, y'all finna dip from me anyway. Because it was written y'all gonna scatter. But they didn't know that. They didn't know that. Yeah, he told them because we done went over this before. If they don't scatter, they gonna get them and kill them all. So that means the gospel don't go forward. So I got to get y'all away from me. Because then it'd have been 13 people getting killed. Or 12 people getting killed because Judah gonna dip. He died anyway. And it's numerous places in the word that bear witness to what he did and what all of them did. Because remember what one of the young girls said? He one of them. He one of them. His accent, but it berates him. Because they'd have killed them all. Yeah, they'd have killed them all.
I would have thought they would have snatched him up though.
But the thing was is y'all put a blindness on them people for them not to know that they roll with him. Because them people who were standing there saying they would have known, man, he ride with him.
They said he did though.
They said he did. Ain't nobody know what was going on because if they right there with him, they getting killed, and then his work is in vain, and no gospel get preached after his resurrection. So they had to be scattered. That was Yah's will for this. See, that's what Peter didn't know. It was Yah's will for y'all to be scattered. That was the will. That delighted him. And Peter didn't know that, so Yahushua took it a step further. You're going to deny me 3 times now. Because you're steady running your mouth, you don't know what's going on. I'm trying to tell you. So now I'm going to tell you. And then when Peter did it, it said he ran away weeping. Then he got one where Yahushua did him like this here. What I told you. Look at that. You know what I'm talking about? Look at that. I told you. Because
But he did a choice to make it right with him.
Yeah, because it wasn't no issue. It just what Peter did was so spotted. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know Peter ready to ride. He the one pulled the sword out. He like this here. Ha! He's like, come on, man, you got to
I think that might have been a secret fault too, though.
No, I ain't gonna look. Peter just was ready to ride.
I'm saying like he exposed that. Yeah, boy, you think you
But he's
ready? Because if them boys would have snatched you up, then you already saying you don't know me.
But see, I think he did him like that there because one, it's already written, and two, I'm already telling you go like before he told him that, he said, all y'all gonna be offended in me tonight and gonna be scattered. He's like, I'll never be offended, I'm gonna ride to the death. He's like, look at man. I done already told you pushing it. I done told you what's gonna happen. He said, you know what? This is what you gonna do.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. He exclusive his situation so that you would really know that
This was
what
already
you was talking about.
Yeah.
That's why
That's why he hit him like
He
that.
did.
That's why he hit him.
It had
Like, you don't know what you're talking about, rebuke you.
See, no other boy probably like,
Yeah, and that's another point. That's another point. No, that's another point she mentioned. When he told them, I gotta die. He said, you'll never die. And he said, I rebuke you, Satan, get behind because you're being an adversary right now. He was ready to ride. You know what I'm saying? Peter like this here, oh, they ain't touching my master. You got me messed up. And remember what Yahushua told Pilate. If my kingdom was of this world, my servants would fight. So he already knew them boys were going to ride. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't what Yah's will was for it to happen. Because them boys were going to ride. Peter already knew that. They grabbed him, boy. Peter like this here, ain't add no word, ain't nobody tell him nothing. He like this here, up that fire. Bah! Get up off it. Get up off it. Now this here. And Peter would have went to the death with it.
Go down.
But Yah's will wasn't for that.
Sit down.
It was for this man to die. And Peter just didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really know that. I've been told y'all that, boy. Peter was a rider. Peter was gonna ride. You can see that because he got annoyed when Yahushua kept asking him, Peter, do you love me? Peter, do you love me? He got annoyed. He said, you know I love you. Why you keep asking me that?
You being fake.
Go to your room. I think he done figured out his room ain't in here no more. That worked for about 2 weeks. Jay Bird, come on. Come on.
Piece of wet on your nose.
Come on, Jay Bird. Get your cup. Get your cup. Stop faking now. One day you get an Academy Award, but not today.
He dropped it. He dropped the long tail.
Long tail. Come on, sit down right here, Jay Bird.
You seen it?
Come on, sit right here for me. Right there. Right there. So, yes, go ahead.
That's why he always say, it's what you have to examine yourself. It's what it is.
Go to your mama then. Go to your mama.
That's why we have to examine ourselves, because see what in the faith, all is not in the faith, and we have to examine ourselves and ask God to show us.
Yeah, that's in Corinthians. It says, examine yourself, whether you be in the faith or not, lest you be a rogue.
What you might say
Rest
about
be
God.
reprobate.
Because I ask God to help me, because I don't know what I might do. You know, I don't know what's in my heart. And I know a lot of God, because I'm saying, God, you know me, and I want to be straight with you. I want when I get, you God want to be ready.
No doubt.
Because I don't want to do like other people went that way and betray you, because I want to be ready, because I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, in that situation. We don't all know what we're going to do. So we have to ask God to help us with that, because and help us to strengthen us. Because I say, God, help me, because I don't know what I might do. I don't know. I'm not going to say. That's why he says, examine yourself. I said, Lord, help me to examine myself, search me, whatever it is, take it out, so I can be able to stand with your word.
No
So I
doubt.
can be able to stand in your word.
Legit spares.
Because God don't help me, I don't know what I'll do. You know?
Proverbs 14:12.
Yeah.
You want to judge it, brother.
Yeah, I know it. Still hope.
I
said both.
Just being courteous, brother.
14:12.
It says there is a way which seemeth right unto a man.
There's a what?
A way that seemeth right unto a man.
But what happened?
The end thereof are the ways of
Yeah,
death.
see, that what ends up happening. It seemed right to us. Seemed right to us. See, love seek not her own. So the love of Yah does not seek to do what it wants to do. That's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. Proverbs 21:1.
It says the king's heart is in the hand of Yahuwah as the rivers of water. He turneth it
Whithersoever he will.
He will.
Come on.
Everywhere the man is right in his own eyes.
Every way of man is what?
Right in his own eyes.
But what
But
happened?
Yahuwah pondered the heart.
Oh boy. Oh boy. What y'all think that means? Say every way is right in man's own eyes, but Yah think upon your heart. What y'all think that could mean? He pull it out. He tried it. I'm going to try you and I'm going to see what's in there. See, that's how y'all see what's in there. I'm going to try it. See, go ahead and get him James 1:12. James. Remember, he said he tried the reins to do what? To give every man according to his word shall be. So I'm going to test you. Some people come out on the right side. Some people come out on the left side.
I don't fail.
Well, I can say this here. This one test we can't fail. We can fail in anything in life, but we can't fail this right here. You can't fail this right here. Because ain't no do-overs. Ain't no retest and he ain't on no curve. 1:12, James.
It says, Baruch is the man that endured temptation.
For
when he is tried.
when he is what?
He is tried.
So he pondering your heart right there. What it say?
He will receive a crown of life,
Crown of life.
which the master has promised unto them that love him. Let no man say he is tempted. I am tempted of Elohim. For Elohim cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man.
He don't tell nobody.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed.
And in what?
And enticed.
And in what?
Enticed.
Go on ahead.
And then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
My beloved brethren. Go ahead.
My beloved brother. It says, do not err, my beloved brother.
Don't err.
Every good gift and
That's
every
good.
perfect.
He say don't err. Don't make that mistake. Because at the end of the day, you know your desires. Stanley mentioned it. 1 Kings chapter 8. Every man know the plague of his own heart. Everybody in here know the stuff that you got a problem with. Everybody, you know it. You know it. So if you know that plague, then you ought to resist it. Like I told you last night, man, that brother was talking about, can't nobody keep Torah in perfection. Well, then we all going to hell then. What's the sense of trying to keep something that you can't keep in the first place? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. That means our effort is in vain. And we know our God is not a God of vanity. Ain't that what he said? He ain't no God of vanity. Why would he give us a task that we couldn't complete? You know what I'm saying? But what that ends up doing is that give us an escape clause for our lust. You know what I'm saying? There's no escape clause for lust. You did that because that's what you wanted to do. I could have not sold crack. I sold crack because that's what I wanted to do. I said, well, we need this paper. I could have easily persevered and stayed broke and kept on looking for a job. And I said, you know what? I'm ready to do or die. So, shoot, we out here.
That's why I had started skipping me while I'm weak at, because give me script and let me from my weakness, because we got some weakness somewhere, so we have to ask God what a weakness is. But he says a prayer on what we weak on, and that's why I pray on. I pray on my weakness where I'm weak at, that God will strengthen me to overcome it, because we can't do it without him. We can't overcome our weakness without God.
You got to have the word, but you overcome it by one simple thing, is mortifying your members according to the word. You know, if you know you got a problem with this or a problem with that, then you mortify your members with the word. If you're not willing to die, like he said that in Paul wrote, you know, that those that are of a Mashiach have crucified their affections of lust. Or when the Mashiach tell you, take up your stake daily and follow him. So that means that is resisting your desires. Like I told y'all this before, you can't be thinking 2, 3, 4 months out, 6 months out, because you don't even know if you're going to live that long. You just one day. All you need to do is work on resisting sin on Saturday and then deal with Sunday when it comes. Then deal with Monday when it comes. Tuesday when it comes. Wednesday when it comes. That's it, because you ain't promised to see tomorrow anyway, so you don't need to be straining your brain thinking that far ahead. Just resist one day at a time. That's it. That's why he told you daily. So if you are mortifying your members every single day, what is going to happen after 10, 15, 20 years pass? You haven't transgressed his word in 20 years. It's not even going to be a thought at that point to do it, because you've been resisting for this such an extended period of time that this is second nature for you. So it's not a thought of, I'm finna go do this, I'm finna go do that, I'm finna go do this. You more so of, I'm moving not to not sin, I'm moving to do your will and please you. Sinning is not a thought process for you anymore. The reason why most people stumble with sin, because you think about it too much. You think about, I don't want to sin, I don't want to sin, I don't want to sin, versus I'm going to resist my desires, and I'm more concerned with doing your will and pleasing you, that you won't have a chance to stumble on it because you think about it too much. Most of y'all had a problem to stop smoking weed because you thought about stop smoking too much, so it was on your brain, so you wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? You want to do it and you steady thinking about it. Boy, I want to have sex. Boy, I want to smoke this weed. Boy, I want to do this. Boy, I want to do that. You stop thinking about it and focus on, I'm not going to do that. When the situation arises, situationally, I'm going to resist it, then it's not going to be no issue. But if you ponder on something, it's no different what we were talking about when we went to that gold thing the other night. Anything you think about, you're going to go do it because you're obsessing over it. You know what I'm saying? You should be more obsessed with doing his will on the spiritual side, and whatever goals you got on the natural side, if you spend your time thinking about that, you ain't got no time to think about doing nothing wrong, so therefore you ain't going to do nothing wrong. But when you thinking about it all the time, it's at the forefront of your brain, and that's what you're going to end up doing. Because you're going to end up getting put in situations to test you because you already desiring this. And your enemy know you desiring this, so let me throw this in your face. If you notice when you ain't thinking about something that you may have desired and it got thrown in your face, you block it because my mind ain't even on that. Like you be like, nigga, I seen you coming 10 miles away. How you even gonna try me like that? And you keep it moving. But if you ever remember, if you was weak for that and you thought about it all the time and it came in your face, you submitted to it because your mind was on it. That's why he said, let this mind be in you, instead of telling you how the word in your heart. If you more focused on what he promising you and the things he say he gonna do, you ain't got no time to be thinking about sin.
He been helping me with that.
You got no time.
He been helping me.
I'm telling you, this thing is simple. It's not as difficult as we make it difficult. It's not difficult. It's very, very simple. It's a very simple thing. And just like it tells you in Proverbs 4, guard your heart, for the issues of life proceed forth out of it. And as a man thinketh, so he is. It's your thoughts that's dictating what you're choosing to do. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually and naturally. Wherever, what the man told you. Where your heart is, your treasure will be. We say where your treasure is, your heart will be also. So whatever your thoughts is on, then that's what you're going to do. Just like what that lady was talking about to that lady who said she didn't want to pay her husband no more alimony. If you think you poor, you're going to stay poor. You know what I'm saying? If you think, well, I'm going to go get this money, I don't care what's going on around me, I am thoroughly focused on achieving this. If we have mistakes, we have failures, we're going to learn from it. But if you're always, boy, I can't make no money, boy, I'm broke, I can't do this, you're going to stay broke.
You saying you broke?
Because you're saying you're broke. Because you're saying you're poor. Because you're saying you can't get no money. You're going to stay like that. Now, that's something niggas taught me when I was hustling in the street. Like, well, you can't be thinking like that. Boy, you better go get your money, man. You know what I'm saying? You better go get your money. Man, ain't no basis out here. Well, shoot, be out here longer then. You know what I'm saying? That's what it takes like this here. Well, what you doing while you ain't making no money? What is you doing? He said, oh, see, that's your problem right there. It's your thought process, man. Your thought process dictates what you're going to do because your thoughts are going to manifest your action. That's why he told you, the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. So whatever you thinking, that's what's coming out your mouth. And what's coming out your mouth is usually what's going to dictate your steps. Go ahead.
That's why he said first your mind, because it's going to watch your mind when you got faith.
Mm-hmm.
So you guard that first when you got faith. That's why you have to guard your mind, because I been saying, Lord, put the blood in my mind, because, you know, give me the right kind of thoughts, the right kind of mind, because cover my mind in the blood against the enemy and myself, because I don't want to think those kind of things.
No doubt. See, I told y'all this last night, right? If you think mediocre and you think average, that's what you're going to be. That's what you're going to be. And guess what most people are taught coming up? To be average, be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Do this here. Like some of y'all, some people like, okay, I want to be an entertainer. You need to get a real job. See, these people, they scared to do their own thing. If you want to be great, you got to do great things. And you have to believe you're great before anybody else does. And you shouldn't even be concerned if anybody else does. What I've been telling you like this here, the one thing that pissed me off about people in business. Derek, what's the one thing I tell you that pissed me off the most? No, you know what thing pissed me off most with niggas? My friends and family don't support me. So what? Like at the end of the day, who started a business with their friends and family in mind? You know what I'm saying? And if they did, they ain't gonna be successful because they think it's small. Because ain't no successful business person nowhere started a business saying my business gonna be sustained by my friends and family. You think Bill Gates was thinking about his friends and family when he made Microsoft?
No.
But that junk pisses me off because what you're doing is your mind frame is, you're telling me you ain't willing to hustle. And you're telling me you ain't willing to grind. And you upset because these people, your friends and family can't sustain no business.
They can't.
They can't do it. You don't know enough people. They don't know enough people. Screw them. I'm going to eat regardless. I'm going to eat regardless. That's how your mind's supposed to be. I'm going to eat regardless. And I say that to say this here. If you walking in the word, you be like, oh, my friends left me. My family turned on me. Well, what did he say in Psalm 27? He said, when my mother and father forsake me, Yahuwah will take me up. What I care about you support me for, nigga, I don't care.
They don't take you up.
But the reason why I say that is because you leaning on other people. You want other people to validate you and make you feel better so you ain't got to stand out on your own and handle your business. Handle your business. Nigga, I don't need nobody to support. Then on top of that, most people start businesses that your friends and family can't support anyway. My friends and family can't support what I do for a living. They can't give me no job. Nigga, I do construction, cleaning, and property preservation. Nigga, you don't do no foreclosed. You don't have a foreclosed home for me to preserve.
I say you do all the things to Christ Jesus with you. You can do all the things to him.
That's true.
And he said, you get what you said was just one another, because you got power in your tongue. You got like power in your tongue. You got blessings and curses.
Oh, see, we talked about that not too long ago. Y'all remember that?
And you have to watch what you say. And if you speak those things, you speak it over yourself. Don't even know it's over yourself. If you speak what God says, he says speak it. Those you don't see. What you don't see, speak it and believe it and walk it.
You know why most people like that? Because they don't believe in themselves. So why would I? You got to believe in yourself. You know what made Muhammad Ali great? That man said he was the greatest before he won a single fight. He didn't care who didn't believe it. See, we want other people to believe in us before we feel like we can do something great. You got to believe in you before you can do something great. Screw anybody else. I wouldn't care if my wife, my sons, my daughters, my mama, who cares? What about you? Screw them. How you feel about yourself? Can't nobody tell you you can't be no great mother. You telling yourself you can't be one. Can't nobody tell you you can't be no great husband. You telling yourself you can't be one. Ain't nobody telling you you can't be a faithful servant to Yahuwah. You telling yourself you can't be one. So you're going to be exactly what you're telling yourself. If you tell yourself, I will be a great husband, I will be a great mother, I will be a faithful servant, and you affirm that in your brain every day, then guess what you're going to be?
You gotta cancel things down out your mind. You gotta cancel down, but instead cancel out messages in your mind.
It do.
I guess when I speak those things, I had to cancel down God bring the word back to me, and I had to cancel things from even thoughts in my mind because He said cancel things down that off your mind because you got the power. He give you power to say that you can cancel that thing off your mind. You have to bind that spirit up. You know?
I mean, this ain't nothing that I ain't never said before. I say it periodically, regularly. Because I tell you, like, all y'all can do whatever you want to do. I believe you can do it, but just because I believe you can do it don't mean you'll do it. I wasn't raised that way to be like, nigga can't do something, nigga can't do something. You can do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But you got to believe that you can do it. That's why when I was coming up and I heard, oh, you can never stop sinning. Then I read the word and seen it different. I'm like, what you mean? You putting your limitations on me and you getting offended at me because I will not accept your limitations. I'm not going to accept what you limiting yourself to. No, nigga, you can't do it. Don't tell me what I can't do. You can't do it. I can do whatever I choose to do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, period. It's just like this here, right? If you do that insurance thing, somebody tell you, oh, it ain't going to work. Just because it didn't work for you don't mean it ain't going to work for me. That's your limitations. You know what I'm saying? You do pressure washing. What if somebody, see, theirs need to just worry about Amazon instead of pressure washing them driveway. No, that means that projecting his fears and limitations on you. I'm not going to let you project your fears and limitations on me. I'm not going to allow you to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get you from around me.
That's right.
That's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm talking about? Because you're not going to tell me. I wouldn't care if I failed 17 times in a row. What Kobe Bryant said, he said, if I shot 20 times in the game and missed the first 20, I'm going to shoot the 21st time. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how much I believe in myself. But that's how I was raised. I was raised to believe in myself. So a nigga can't tell me nothing about me.
No.
Period. You can't tell me nothing about me. That's your stuff. You keep that over there with you. That's how all y'all should feel. Why you think Yahusha ain't forward? Did you see that? We talked about that last night too, didn't we? You think he letting the people come tell him about him? Oh, you Beelzebub. Your mammy is. That's what he told him. Straight up and down. He ain't said it in word, but he might have well did. Straight up though, when you look at him, when you look at him, Masha, did he let them people tell him who he was? You ain't the son of God. I'll say it. Are you a king? You said it. Because he was confident and secure in who he was. I told you that last night. Yah is two things. He's confident and he's not insecure. He knows who he is, so he doesn't have a need to validate and prove himself to no one. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. I'm going to tell you something. We're going to get ready to wrap up and say, you know what, to a confident person, you know what is the most unattractive thing anybody can be? Insecure. Because that's fear, that's lack of confidence. And that is not an attractive trait to someone who's confident in themselves, because they're always going to have to nurse your insecurities, and that gets exhausting. You know what I'm saying? Because if you insecure and a person's confident, your confidence is going to offend them because they're insecure. They don't know how to handle it because they're going to feel like everything is a shot at them. So when you confident in Yahuwah and people ain't, that offends them. That's why they killed the Mashiach. That's why the scribes was mad. This man was confident in his God. He didn't care nothing about what they were talking about. We showed you that last night too. What he said when they say, who give you the authority to do these things? He said, well, check this out, my nigga. John Baptist, was it a man or was from heaven? He slid off, and they showed their insecurity. If we say if it's a man, they're going to stone us. If we say if it was from heaven, then he's going to be like, why you didn't believe him? We can't tell. Get your corny butt out. And guess what he told him? I ain't going to tell you by what authority I do it, because I don't need to validate myself to you. Use a clown. Use a clown. Straight up and down. That's what he told him. But you know what Brews do in 2018? They would have tried to validate themselves. Oh, I got the authority to do it by this here. Shoot, believe what you want to believe, my nigga. Ain't no skin on my back. I know what I came here to do. What you came here to do? Look ugly and tell lies. That's what you came here to do. No? Come on here and get me.
You asked for the James.
We finished Little Giants. But get me Proverbs 13:1. We finished Little Giants. I'm just saying, man, confidence is a beautiful thing. In your God, first and foremost, and then in yourself. Yeah, I know it, but we might not get it right now. Because it's almost 5 o'clock, and you know we got to do a little something. Pause.
No, we gotta do it.
Do a little something. Pause. See, that's what Jokovic supposed to say. He supposed to say pause. Then they wouldn't have got it.
Whatever. It was still fine.
No, because then they'd have been like, why does he say pause? What does that mean? We don't know that lingo.
Yeah, the black people know.
We would have understood. They wouldn't have understood. He said no homo. That's just not right. You know they got a whole week about
yeah, instead of no homo. Yeah.
because that's why they be saying pause.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, he would have got on. It would have been smooth.
You know, because you know they ain't been saying pause since the 90s. He the one who started all that. I can remember that nigga on Reasonable Doubt saying that. Yeah, he was. he was. If you go back to Reasonable Doubt, you hear both of them saying it. Pause. Pause.
Yes, thank you. Stop right there.
Yeah. The pause wasn't for gay stuff. It was if you said something that was out of pocket. Then you'd be like, pause.
It's like a partner.
Pretty much.
Proverbs 28.
13.
Oh, well, I got that.
Probably because they say the wicked flee when no man pursue. That's a Brutal Online favorite thing. I seen a dude. I seen a dude today say, "I'm making a video exposing all false doctrine." Go lay down and go take a nap. Just go take a nap.
13.
And 1, let it ride.
A wise son heareth his father's instructions, but a scorner he hath not rebuked.
Oh no. I mean, I'm not bad. That's 1 and 31. That's my fault. Oh, 1. That's my fault. I thought that's it. Yeah, because I got a word for it, and I thought that said 13 and 1. Or 1 and 31.
1 to 31.
But we gonna make it verse.
No 13 at all.
Yeah, that was my fault. That's on you.
Therefore shall they eat
Make
of
it
the,
27.
when your fear cometh as desolation. And
Y'all remember this Proverbs 1, right? Remember what it's about? He say, turn up my reproof and he'll do what? I make my words known unto you. He say, but you despise knowledge and you rejected it. You ain't want to listen. Listen what he said.
When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer.
I ain't going to answer.
They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
They not going to find me.
For that they hated knowledge,
They hated it.
and did not choose to fear Yahuwah.
They don't want to respect me.
They would none of my counsel.
They don't want to listen to my, what is counsel again? It's an executed plan or purpose or device. What he telling you to do. Go ahead.
They despise all my reproof.
They don't want no correction.
Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way,
Own ways.
and be filled with their own devices.
Feel their own devices.
For the turning away of the simple shall slay them.
Now, when you look at own devices, that word means counsel or plan, and it's moetzah. So we got, y'all can try to come up with something real quick. You got mean, you got a ooh, you got an ayin, you got a sod, and you got a hey. So I think when you feel with your own devices with that mean, what would you use, Stanley? What would you say? Out of blood or chaos, which one would you choose? Chaos indeed. So when you got ooh, what would you use, Darius? Would you say you're joined together? Would you say it's secure? Would you use a nail? Join to a little chaos? We like join to a little chaos? That's what we like? That's what we like then.
I feel a way coming.
I feel a way coming. Now we got ayin, so what would we say with that? What we got? Converge with the soul, right? We got I and know and experience. What else we got? I say the conversion with the soul. Like a little chaos to join together to converge with your soul. So then after that, we got a little sod. Huh? Little desire? For the sod?
It could. It depends on how you swing it.
You say desire?
I'm gonna go with way though. It could be desire.
I like desire though.
That's divisive. So
Yeah, I like desire. I like desire. So then when we got, hey, what we gonna look at? Look, behold, reveal. So you know what we gonna look at there? We take that reveal, right? and you reveal how that desire converge with your soul to secure you to chaos. And that's what ends up happening when you go after your own devices and seek your own will. Because now once you do that, Yah is revealing to you that I'm going to kill you, for simpler terms. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to kill you. But this is how you say, remember, love don't seek her own. So when you look at it, it's not like seeking you, like on an individual level, it's not being selfish. You know what I'm saying? But then on a spiritual level, it's still not being selfish because you seeking to fulfill Yah's will and not your own. Remember when we talked about that in Psalm 40:8? What did it say? I delight to do thy will. When we talk about what David said to Solomon, right? He said, seek Yah and serve him with a perfect heart and what else? A willing mind. And that what was the word for willing? We've mentioned it today. It was the word for purpose in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. The confess, right? The desire or to delight. He said to do it with a tamaim or complete, innocent or a mind of integrity and with a mind that delights to do it. So when it comes down to it, if we say we seeking his will, then we would delight to do his will and not our own. Because every time we read in the text, when he say people like to do their own will, he gave them over to that will for their destruction.
You turn over to it, the reprobate mind.
Turn right on to it, let them have. You can have that, baby. Ride with it. Judges 2:15.
Reprobate mind.
Oh.
Turn over to it.
Because we got a word for that too. Oh. That nigga say what? I'm in the refrigerator. Nigga took the video away too, man. That was messed up. For real? Yeah, I can't even find it. I just periodically looked at it for a good laugh. That went in there to my big Syracuse University because that is hilarious too. Cuz said they bought 10 boxes of pizza and came back with 5. Like, what is you doing? Well, I want to know how 2 people can eat 5 boxes of pizza on the way home. Go ahead.
They say, creating a clean home.
Yeah.
When they create a clean heart, he's telling God to create a clean heart.
Glad she said that because I didn't send y'all what y'all needed too.
You said legit.
Yeah, 2:15. I'm talking about from Thursday.
Right. Whethersoever they went out, the hand of Yahuwah was against them for evil, as Yahuwah had said, and as Yahuwah had sworn unto them, that they were greatly distressed.
They greatly distressed.
Nevertheless, Yahuwah raised up judges which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. And yet they would not hearken unto them.
They won't listen. Why?
But they went a whoring after other Elohim and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of Yahuwah, but they did not so.
Go ahead.
And when Yahuwah raised them up judges, then Yahuwah was with the judges.
What verse is that?
18.
Go ahead.
And delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge, for repented Yahuwah because of their groanings by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them.
So he said he came and got it, but look what he said in verse 19.
It said it came to pass when the judge was dead,
When the judge died,
that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers, and followed other Elohim to serve them, and bowed down unto them. They ceased not from their own doings.
they didn't cease from what? But so look at what we did, right? You get your head cracked, now you want to call on him. He come get you. While the person who can't get you is alive, you walking in it. Soon as they die, you go right back to doing what you want to do. Now word for own doings, it means deed or practice, and it's malal. You got a meme, a ayin, and 2 lamars. So what would we come to with that?
A meme, a ayin,
And 2 lamars.
for what was that?
Own doings.
Oh. We definitely gonna run with the chaos.
Definitely gonna run with chaos, possibly blood.
Lamar, what? Ayin?
And ayin and 2 lamars. I take conversion to soul with ayin. You know why I take conversion to soul? Because I'm gonna take that staff and I'm gonna bring that discipline in behind it. What would you do?
I would probably use experience. I know when to know to teach
Well,
discipline.
Kamal's gonna say like lead.
It ain't no Gamal.
I thought that's
No, 2 lamars.
It's Lamar. Ayin.
So you know with lamar, you got shepherd staff, discipline, I believe yoke, teach. See, they ain't being taught nothing. when he come
I
cracking.
wasn't gonna use teach. I like the discipline.
And that's why I say use that shepherd staff, because what you use the shepherd staff for? To bash that sheep upside his head when he getting out of pocket.
But your device can be that yoke too, though.
But see, the yoke is to bring you under subjection. He ain't trying to subject you no
I get
more.
what you're saying. I was thinking the yoke is being in bondage to sin.
See, now you say, I ain't. See, that when we looking at the context of what's going on,
Oh yeah.
I'm finna come see.
Yeah.
Now, in a
I feel
different,
what you're saying.
I'm just in the context, because you're not wrong.
You're right. No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
What they doing going back, yeah.
Because remember what we always try to remember when we pull a meaning out of a character, we want to keep it close in the context of the story that we're looking at. You know what I'm saying? Now, in another place, we can pull that out, and that's right on head, because you definitely yoked in. But remember this here, who knows how the book of Judges ends? Like the last verse, it ends making a particular statement.
Oh, they did everything.
He said there was no king in those days, and every man did which was right in his own eyes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was doing their own will, which means the love of Yah was failing, which is why you can read in Chronicles how they hadn't done the Passover in so long, and they hadn't done the tabernacles in so long, and how the priests, Hezekiah went into the temple and found the book of the law, and they went to getting all nervous when they seen the curses that was in it, because the love was failing, because everybody was doing their own thing. And that's what you see now. Everybody's doing their own thing. And don't tell me that I'm wrong or that wrong. I'm like this here. This is what the word says. You can do what you want.
You know you was right as God, because when you God tell somebody something and you people will come against you, the worst thing we first this thing say. And when you try to tell you, a lot of people don't want to be with your family and all that, but that's going on with me. It's a lot of people, they don't even want me around them. And I say, God, I don't know what's going on.
No, so what we're referring to, in which most of them in here know is, and it'd be more so online, you may catch something in the flesh, is that are people that know that they're Hebrews. So a lot of them will feel like, don't tell me my doctrine wrong, or whatever it is that they believe, or this, that, and the third. And niggas fight about it. But the stuff they fighting about ain't really stuff that's even about the saving of the soul. Because see, those type of things are non-negotiable. You know what I'm saying? They fighting about other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They arguing about, sex is marriage, or this chart, or this, that, and the third. Or how some of them arguing about, ain't nothing wrong with practicing witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who you talk to. There's a lot of, there's a lot of them on that witchcraft now. Ain't that right? A lot of them. And a lot of them feel like that's our ancestors. That's the cop-out. What our ancestors did. That's the cop-out.
Yeah.
But it's growing and it's expanding. Not just with that, but just stuff, period. Because people want to do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So don't come telling me that what I'm doing is wrong. And if that's what I want to do. I don't care what you say, because the first thing that nigga's going to say is that's your interpretation or that's your understanding. And I'm going to be like, you know what? Do what you want to. Because I'm not going to argue with you about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got dudes be like, a woman can teach? Well, shoot, she can then. Let her. By all means, brother, do what you do. Do what you do. We can smoke weed, smoke it. Smoke it. You know what I'm saying? What your dudes say, you can get you a tattoo, tat it. I'm not going to argue with you, man. This how I see it. Do what you want. Put you on it. I'm not going to argue with you about it. I done said what I had to say. Do what you want. You know what I'm saying? You got to do like the Sabbath is not the day. Let's go by the moon. Keep it. You can work on the Shabbat. Go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I trying to get old. But I trying to got old. But I ain't never argued with people, boy, until I got on the internet. Never. You know what I'm saying? Did I have disagreements with people in the street? Yeah, all the time. But it was never like what you see on the internet. Never, ever. You know what I'm saying? But I talk to a nigga about anything. Just because I disagree with you don't mean I got a problem with you. It's not that big of a deal. Niggas take disagreements personally. I don't take a disagreement personally. We could be arguing about sports. I'm not going to take that personally. We could be arguing about whatever. I'm not going to take your perspective personally. It's your perspective. You're entitled to it. Just because we don't agree don't mean I'm walking around salty.
No.
But that's what niggas be doing though, Anna. Niggas be mad with you because you disagree with them.
They do.
Get you a tampon. Cause that woman stuff. There ain't no man don't do that. Yeah, get you some always with wings. With wings. Cause you need to fly away, nigga. Go talk to your pappy. He put some man in you. Come on over here, man. Matter of fact, we just start right now.
Nah, bust down the word. I got mine. I'm telling you.
Oh, no, okay. Oh, my bad. So what I'm looking at is how when you sit back and look at, right, that staff of discipline is going to converge the soul so you can have your little bit of chaos. A little bit of chaos. Because I got to. When I take you to discipline, and you're going to become one with it. I'm going to bust your whole head clean open. You know what I'm saying? Because what we mentioned it earlier, right, in Revelation 9. They got hit with all them plagues, and what the people didn't do? They didn't repent. Then you read Revelation 14, and that Malachim flying through the earth telling everybody to repent and to return back. But he said, everybody that take the mark of that beast and the mark of his name, he said, you know what? I'm going to burn you niggas up. And guess what? I'm going to take this staff of this discipline, and it's going to converge with your soul, and you're going to learn some chaos today. Matter of fact, get to Matthew 13 real quick, man. Probably about verse what? 41. Make it 37. It's because these are people choosing to do what they want to do. See, you can't look at no homosexual about what he doing and then overlook somebody else who doing what they want to do. What's the difference between him and the homosexual? Nothing. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just talking about how people look at it, right? It's two things that most brews love to point out. A woman who's a whore and a punk. But get what? When they homeboy, like when them dudes was around there talking about he wanted a multiple wife and he was knocking that lady down, all them niggas turned their head. Just like the brother was talking about the other day. When Jermaine Grant got caught stealing all them millions of dollars, niggas turned their head. Them niggas ain't say nothing. Them man got knocked off by the feds for bilking millions of dollars. Niggas ain't say nothing. Let Creflo would have did it.
Y'all big comfort though.
That big comfort, huh? That comfy couch. The big red couch.
Well, we sound comfortable, baby.
But that's hypocrisy though. That's hypocrisy though. You know what I'm saying? Because if Jim Baker or Creflo Dollar or Kenneth Copeland or any of them people would have got caught bilking millions, they would have been all of them wicked Christians. Minute one of yours do it, see, we got to pray for the brother. Because you know they trying to stop this truth. Man, I ain't trying to hear all that, my nigga. That nigga a thief, dog. Like what IUIC do when people, they tell them niggas delete this nigga on all your social media and can't nobody talk to him or you gonna get put out. And them niggas do it. I actually seen a dude say today from IUIC, that man said, you just follow leadership, don't ask no questions, just do what you're told. I said, how could a grown man even utter them words, and how could another grown man be comfortable enough to tell a man not to think for himself? Real talk, man.
That's how they doing.
Real talk, but
they use a little script to do it though.
I know they do. I never tell a man not to think for himself. That man say literally, just follow leadership, don't ask no questions, follow orders. Come on, bro. I'm finna tell no grown man nothing like that. Come on, man. 1337. That nigga DC say Creflo Dollar got the dollars to make the hoes holler. That boy, that's stupid. Oh, shalom, brother Errol. I didn't even see that on the Keisha.
I know about DC.
Oh man, he said he got a homegirl that got molested by their dad. They definitely don't talk about incest too much.
Yeah, one of them said it's mental though.
Yeah, boy, them who? Boy, nigga, what? Boy, nigga around here touching on little kids. That nigga need his penis cut off and jump and shoved down his throat. That junk ain't right, boy, because that child got to live with that for the rest of their life. That junk ain't right, boy. I ain't on that. Ain't on that. Boy, you can't ignore stuff like that. That nigga need help. Grown nigga like this here, sue. That nigga need help that only the Lord can provide. Because if I catch you, you're going to meet him. Ooh, why was the nigga would, man? It ain't even just about the act, because the act wrong in itself. It's the psychological, mental, and emotional effects that it's going to have on that child for the rest of their life. It's a lot of young girls who were hoeing because of that. They probably would have done that if that wouldn't happen. It's a lot of boys who out here been having sex with men that probably wouldn't have done that if that didn't happen to them. It's a lot of men who molesting kids because they thought that was the right thing to do because that happened to them. So somebody else got caught up in that cycle. That junk ain't right. It ain't right. That junk ain't right. It's disgusting, but it's such a selfish move. I told you about the NFL player, his old lady caught him with his erect penis over that little girl, and she supposed to took a butcher knife and cut it off for him. Since you want to pull your penis out on a little churn, I'm going to pull the penis out for you. What? And I ain't calling 911, and I'm hiding your phone. You better knock on the neighbors, though.
Sorry.
I don't know what I be wondering what going through your mind, cuz. What's going through your mind that you thought, you know what? This the right thing to do. It's a lot of stuff that you could do and you be like, nigga, what you thinking about? But how you get that long? I just don't understand. Come on, man.
It says, he answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the son of Elohim. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the adversary, and the harvest is the end of the world. And the reapers are the Malachim. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be at the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his Malachim, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. And he shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who have ears, let them hear.
He that have ears to hear, let him hear. So, hallelujah for y'all for sharing the word. Bless everybody on the stream. Bless y'all in the house. Y'all name of y'all.
Bless you, bless you.
And y'all willing, we pick it up on Wednesday. Still traveling on down that road. I think what we got, think no evil left. Envy. And what else we got left? I think that'll might finish it on out. But no, this is stuff for us to just go weigh and consider. So our love don't fail. So we know what not to do. When we know what not to do, then we straight. But yes, sir. But y'all willing? I'm gonna get with y'all. Who ain't in the room? Who went to the bathroom?